Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this. My name's Jay Milne. #Koob. Our sports update deliverer. The Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest. All right, here's what's going on in the Nest. Playoff game day in the city of Edmonton. Your Edmonton Oilers taking on the Los Angeles Kings tonight. You know the deal. Kings have dominated the series to this point. They lead the best of 7, 2-0. Calvin Pickard is your starting goaltender tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. It looks like Draisaitl and McDavid will start the game on the same line. Who knows how they're going to finish it. The Oilers desperately needing a spark, needing a victory to get back into this one. It's an 8 o'clock game. We have extended coverage. Well, we've been covering it all day long here on Edmonton Sports Talk since the Nielsen Show signed on at 6 a.m. This show, the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, will be extended until 6:30. And then at 6:30 until 8, it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Tom will be live from the Ice House in Ice District. So if you're going to that establishment tonight, you can say hi to Tom. He'll do the post-game show from there as well. I'll be dropping by to talk to him. So that is what is on tap today. The Game 4 on Sunday is a 7:30 start at Rogers Place, and we'll have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 6 o'clock. But, of course, the focus is on Game 3 this evening. And as we expected, there is indeed a change for the starting goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. Calvin Pickard will be in net.
Same way I've approached every game as an Oiler. Go out and do my job and give our team a chance to win. Obviously, first 2 games didn't go as planned, basically in all facets. But we know we got a better effort in this locker room, and we're definitely going to do that tonight.
Pickard, pretty good season, 22-10-1, 900 save percentage, 2.71 goals against average. Since the Four Nations face-off, he goes 8-5-1 with an 899 and a 301 save percentage. I think if the Oilers can get 900 or better save percentage in this game, they will have a chance, especially since I continue to say I don't think the Oilers have really done enough to test Darcy Kemper at the other end. So here's how they were rolled out at the morning skate. McDavid with Draisaitl and Hyman. Nugent-Hopkins staying at center with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Henrique with Kane and Brown. And then Janmark with Frederick and Perry. So these scratched forwards will be Derek Ryan, Jeff Skinner, Max Jones, and Kasperi Kapanen. On the back end, Klingberg, Bouchard, Nurse, Emberson, Kulak, Wallman. Those will be the 6 defensemen to play. Not sure exactly what the pairings are going to be. Klingberg was with Bouchard at the morning skate, and Knoblauch was asked about that.
I wouldn't look at too much into that.
All right, just repeat it.
I wouldn't look at too much into that.
So I think we'll see a rotation of defensemen, probably go with whoever's playing well or whatever is happening in the game situation. So Brown and Stetcher expected to be the scratches. Quick scene set for the game. A lot more audio coming from Knoblauch, Pickard, McDavid, and Nurse. We're going to have Daryl Evans on the show, perhaps the best-dressed broadcaster in the National Hockey League. He'll join us at around 3:40. We'll have former Oilers goaltender Ben Scrivens checking in today. I don't think I visited with him since last year's Stanley Cup final. Hernan Salas, our colleague from EST Afternoons with Salas and Gage, is going to check in later on in the afternoon. And we'll also visit with Jamie Thomas, not just to talk about the Oilers series, but maybe some other playoff storylines. And, of course, he is the host of Ground Control, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. And the Jets were beaten fairly soundly last night by the St. Louis Blues as the Blues got back into that series. All right, I'm Reid. He's Jay. Jay, how are you doing?
Pumped
It's exciting. There's an excitement in the air. There's an excitement in the office. I mean, I think everybody knows what's at stake here tonight. So it's got to be a different effort. I mean, you just heard that clip from Calvin Pickard. He says everyone in this locker room is aware that there needs to be more effort. I don't know what that means, but sure, let's see more effort tonight and see what happens. But huge game.
Well,
Huge
I think
game.
here's a discussion point. And here's perhaps a concern in the series. Now, I would agree with the concept that the Edmonton Oilers can play better, that they've had too many self-inflicted wounds. They've made mistakes when they weren't under pressure. That's all fair. But the flip side of that is, what if this collection of Oilers players can't play that much better? They either don't have the talent and or ability and or health to play better, and that they're not able to make plays to counteract what LA is doing. I mean, maybe I guess we'll find out more tonight. I mean, maybe the suggestion that the Oilers can up their game is an inaccurate one. Maybe the Kings are just better. I mean, look, other teams do prevent teams from doing what they want. I mean, certainly on the power play, I know the Oilers have talked about execution, but it appears the Kings are doing some things that are preventing the Oilers from what they're doing. I still hold out hope that the Oilers can play a cleaner game, can generate more offense, and maybe can claw their way back into the series. But I certainly am concerned maybe this is just the gap between these two teams. The Kings, went out, knew what they had to do, improved. The Oilers aren't as good as last year, have some players who maybe are having down years compared to other years. Maybe this is actually indicative of the gap between the two teams. I guess we'll know for sure tonight if it happens thrice, including in both buildings.
If the Oilers put together, let's say, a 9 out of 10 game, okay, in effort, in compete, in just style of play, do you think they can beat the Kings tonight?
If they play better?
Yeah, let's say they were playing at a 4 out of 10. They elevate that. Let's double it. Let's say an 8 out of 10.
Right.
Do you think that will be good enough to beat this Kings team tonight?
Well,
I'm not talking about anything
good
else.
enough to have a lot closer game. Now, yeah. I also think I give the Kings a lot of credit. They have a good team. They do have a very good team.
Yes, they do.
I also think they are rolling right now. Like, they are pretty much playing at their potential. Excellent defending. The offensive players clearly are feeling it. They got young guys like Brant Clark who are just so excited to score goals.
Or Brent,
but they're feeling it, right? So I think you could say the Kings were at close to a 10 out of 10 to their potential.
Well, that's it.
Now,
yeah.
I guess if I'm looking at this, with sort of a sober thought and a complete view of the series, the challenge is also on the Kings to keep reproducing that effort, because I think they have been pretty much at their potential for the first two games of the series. Now, you have to have a high potential to win, but it is hard to play absolutely at that level every night. So, the Oilers are going to have to step it up. I think the Kings probably need to have a night not as sharp as they were the first two games in LA, especially really 4 of the 6 periods. And then maybe it's series on if the Oilers can pull out a win. But I mean, clearly this one has, it's not started well for the Oilers. And as I've been saying the last couple of days, there is not any area, like, if I'm missing something, please tell me. To me, there is not a single area of the game of hockey in which the Oilers were better in the first 2 games. Go down as far down the list as you want. Make up little specific categories. I don't know what you would say the Oilers were better at.
I agree. And that's what's most concerning is, can this team figure it out? Can this team flip the switch?
Right.
And turn into a completely different team than what we witnessed in games 1 and 2. I'm not sure. I mean, here's hoping for Oilers fans, but I'm just, that's a serious question, Reid. That's not just, I don't mean to be Debbie Downer here, but that is the fact of the matter, is can this team completely change how they've been playing?
Yeah, I mean, and this isn't, I mean, again, I still think the special teams are the headline of the series. It's not as if the Kings are 30% on the power play.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, man, that needs to be closer to 20. And it's not as if the Oilers are 12% on the power play, and it's like they got to get that up to around 20. No, it's 50% to 0% for the Kings. The Kings are 5 for 10. The Oilers are 0 for 5. And there's another thing. The Oilers got to stay out of the box. Some discipline issues. I guess they had the penalty on the puck over the glass and then the challenge, but still, they've taken 8 penalties where the ref said, you're committing an infraction. So, another area that the Oilers got to get better. Now, can they do it? Yes. Can this version of this team do it? We'll see. And then the bigger picture question is, can they do it 4 times in the next 5 games? But you got to do it once first. So a lot to get to throughout the afternoon. We're, as always, happy to hear from you. Several ways you can interact with us, and in some cases with other nasties, with other audience members. You can text 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I already have 3 limericks emailed to me from 2 different people. Somebody gave a double dose of limerickness. Limerickosity.
Limerickosity.
Yeah.
I like that.
I guess that's what we're going for. You can consume the show, of course, the audio streams, iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app. You can go through EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Thanks for doing that. Favorite the station or make it a preference or whatever you need to do. Put it on your start screen on all those apps so you can jump right in and listen to us. And, of course, if you're on YouTube, it includes a video element as well. And you can jump into our chat there. We call it the Nasty Chat. And sometimes we read stuff out of there. Sometimes we don't, and people just chat with each other. Either way is fine. I know a lot of people just enjoy bantering back and forth in there. Keep it respectful. First of all, keep it clean. We don't want any R-rated language. And keep it respectful. You can disagree. You can argue. But like if I start seeing, name calling or just mean stuff, we're going to kick the person out for the show. I think that's a fair policy. And if you're in YouTube, give us the thumbs up. Click the thumbs up button under the screen when you're on YouTube. We've had a good week with that. I think our bare minimum over a 3.5 show, like we're talking bare minimum, is to get to 100 and because that's double word of the day territory.
Reid, this is Oilers Game 3 game
Oilers
day.
Game 3.
The first home game of the play.
Possibly the last.
255
on a weekday.
255. That's the goal. That's what we're pushing for.
Are you mad that I said that? You're
possibly the last. I'm ignoring it. You know what?
Because this could be the last weekday game.
Optimistics like us, Reid. You know what? I'm just thinking positive thoughts. That's it. I can't do anything about it. I'm wearing my positive thoughts shirt. Hashtag Glue Crew.
Oh, yeah, you got your Glue Crew shirt on.
I mean, I'm doing my part. You just got to keep those comments to yourself. 255.
I'm just presenting. Okay, I won't say anything else. People know what I was doing. I was presenting all the possibilities.
Well,
That's all.
You have to.
Just like if I pick 6 numbers to win Lotto 649, I acknowledge the other 43 numbers are the ones that could come up.
Just play the damn Click song.
Make my day.
Oh, people want the Click song?
Cheer everybody up. Give it to them.
I don't know if I feel like doing it.
Give it to them.
I don't know if I want to do it. What's in it for me? I don't know. Why should I do it? I'm gonna be all defiant about it now. I don't know. Why should I do it? I don't know.
Uh-oh. We've awoken Mopey Reid.
What's the big deal about it? I don't want to play it.
I don't really
I'll
like
play
it,
what
bro.
I want.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to play other clips.
Do you expect me to talk?
Maybe I want to play that one.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you
Oh,
to
no.
Maybe I want to do that one.
Oh, no.
I don't know. We'll see.
We've awoken a
Hopefully
different animal.
People should know how to click without hearing the song. We didn't have the song when the show started. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I guess we will.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Yeah. There it is. No
Way to
excuse. No, there it is, everybody. I have satisfied your cravings, so to speak. Daryl Evans coming up. Ben Scrivens, Hernan Salas, Jamie Thomas. Great lineup of guests. Comments from Knoblauch, McDavid, Nurse, and Pickard throughout the course of the afternoon. And we've been having fun with our we always have fun with the off-topic topic. And this is a good one today. I'll tee you up for it here, Jay, by telling you that the off-topic topic is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536.
Okay, I told you guys I'm wearing my positive vibes shirt, good vibes, the Glue Crew. I wore my positive vibes shoes. These are my happy shoes. They put me in my happy place.
Oh, yeah, you weren't wearing those the other days this week.
Yeah, they're special. They're my commander's shoes, so I'm breaking them out for today. Superstitions. What are you doing today to help the Oilers win? What have you changed in your wardrobe? Did you take a different route to work? Maybe you added an extra creamer to your coffee. It could be anything. What is your superstition on how you are helping the Oilers win tonight? That's what we want to hear. Hit us up on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Reid? Well, the best line is I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
Yeah, I'm a little stitious.
You're not superstitious.
What did I do? No, I didn't. I do not believe that anything I do has an effect on the outcome of a sporting event.
Yeah, I actually don't either. Go figure. I'm just happy because it's Friday. It's sunny.
Right.
And there's a great playoff game being held right here in Edmonton.
That is pretty cool.
It's going to be cool to see those orange flags that Tommy showed on the oil stream today, waving. Yeah. The orange, what are they? You can't call them the terrible towels.
No, they're just the towels, I guess.
Towels.
I don't know what they're calling them.
I'm not, but I'm here for all those that do. And I know there's seveal people that are superstitious that are wearing special shoes, special clothes, special hats, special jerseys.
Right.
And we want to hear it all.
So what are you doing, you specifically, you the individual, doing to help the Oilers tonight? You know what you could have done is you could have been outside the Kings Hotel blaring your horn and music all night.
Do you imagine just if we went there with massive speakers?
Yeah.
And all we played...
But you'd keep a lot of other people awake too.
Who cares? All we played was the David Lee Roth screaming and then back and forth between that and click, click, click. Thumbs, thumbs, thumbs.
Whoa! Whoa!
All right. What are you specifically doing to help the Edmonton Oilers today? So it is a game day.
Well, Big Uke.
Oh, my goodness. What?
He says, I know that nothing I do makes a difference, but I think it may. Big Uke, you got to believe. But he said it's a fun game to play. I didn't wear my Hyman jersey to work. I am wearing my Draisaitl Heritage Classic jersey to work.
So still wearing the jersey, just switching up the player.
Yeah, he said he wore his Hyman blue for games 1 and 2. It's going away for a bit.
Okay, interesting.
Okay? Thank you for your help, Big Uke. We appreciate it. The Oilers appreciate it.
Yeah, the Oilers will hopefully appreciate it. All right, our mystery athlete of the game is presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. Join us Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. for late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. A reminder, if you are going to submit a guess in this contest to win a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub, you are only your guesses are only acknowledged on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, texting 780-218-9999. Don't email us. Don't post stuff in the nasty chat. You must text to win, and maximum 3 guesses per person. So I'm going to give a series of clues throughout the show, and you have to try to figure out who the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game is. First clue is Nordiques.
What's the over-under today on how many guesses or how many clues you got to give before somebody guesses?
3.
3? Now, are we setting the over-under at 2.5 or 3.5?
2.5 then.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I would have said, yeah, I'm taking the over.
Okay. No, somebody will get it.
Okay.
Well, I doubt someone gets it after the second one. But I think after the third... Oh, so should I set it at 3? I don't know.
I think you should have
I'll
said
tell
it
you
at
that.
3.5.
I'll tell everybody this. I only prepared 4 clues instead of the usual 5.
Safety Bob says he's sending the wife out to her mother's. She's the jinx.
Oh, jeez.
Hersey says the only thing I changed today was I told my wife I'm sitting on the deck watching EST and drinking beer all afternoon and got my mom to pick up the kids from daycare.
Okay.
Well, I mean, everything, every bit by bit, everybody. Bit by bit.
Every little bit of positive mojo might help. All right. Daryl Evans coming up in about 20 minutes. We're going to have Fired Up for Jemko when we get back. Look, I played the song, everybody, and there haven't been a lot of clicks. We're only at 57 thumbs. If everybody on YouTube watching clicked right away, we would have the double word of the day taken care of. So I'm just saying, if you want me to play the song...
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
You got to uphold your end of the bargain.
That's right.
And go into YouTube.
It's a two-way street.
And click the thumbs up button and drive up our total. Okay?
Fair.
It is a two-way street.
It's fair.
I wash your hands, you wash mine. Is that the saying?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. You scratch your dog's back, I'll scratch mine. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You find a bird in the bush, I'll find a bird on my property.
There you go.
Right?
You're rolling.
That's how
You're
it
on
works.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Keep
with the
going.
song and the
You got
clicky.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it figured out.
You got it.
Hey, quid pro quo, prid quo pro
Yeah.
quo.
Yeah, what you said.
Dr. Lecter.
Yeah.
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 Okay? Yeah.
Quid
Hey.
pros. Bruh.
All right. Game's at 8 o'clock. We're taking it to 6:30. Then Tom takes over with Hernan at 6:30. Hernan's going to join us later as well. Here comes the Koob.
From the heart of Edmonton and Ice District, Calvin Pickard gets a start for the Oilers against the Kings in Game 3. LA up 2-0 in the series. You can catch the extended version of the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas 90 minutes before puck drop. You can also join Gazzola live on location at the Canadian Ice House or tune in at 6:30 only on EST. 2 other games on tap. Montreal hosting Washington, Canadians trailing 2-0 in the series, while the Hurricanes and Devils face off in Game 3. Carolina taking the first 2 meetings. On the court, the Lakers look to take a 2-1 series lead against the T-Wolves in Game 3. Milwaukee fights to take a game as they're down 2-0 against the Pacers, while Boston tips off with Orlando. Boston taking those first 2 games. And John Morant for the Grizzlies is ruled out for Game 4 tomorrow against the Thunder due to a hip injury. Memphis trailing 3-0 in the series. Baseball sees a full slate. The Jays give Jose Barrios the start in their opener against the Yankees, with Toronto on a 5-game slide. Right now, the Phillies and Cubs are underway. That one sees the Cubs up 1-0 in the end of the second inning. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Quinton Byfield has been very noticeable in games 1 and 2. Is Quinton Byfield public enemy number 1 coming back to Edmonton?
Yeah, I think recency bias on this one. Doubt he would be a close number 2 because he always is, but I think just based on the series and the physicality and the interactions he's had, he's got to be public enemy number 1. Although I do love the underdog.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at The Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, great to have you tuning in this afternoon. Yes, it is the Los Angeles Kings visiting the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Rogers Place, huge playoff game. Can the Oilers get back in this series? Can they defend home ice, which the LA Kings did very efficiently in the first two games of this series? Also this evening, Capitals, Canadians, Hurricanes, Devils. We will identify our Playmore tables and games game of the night a little bit later on. We will touch on some of last night's results as well, including the Blues hammering the Winnipeg Jets 7-2. Our buddy Jamie Thomas will hop on a little bit later on. He's the host of the Ground Control podcast, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. Leafs are good. Do I need to keep saying it? Another overtime win over the Senators. Benoit having a great series, assist on one overtime winner. Point shot last night. I did not. Did I pick a Vegas sweep? So much for that.
I don't know.
But we both thought Vegas would control that series.
I think I picked them 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did. And how about the Panthers going into Tampa Bay? Two victories. 2-0 last night. So, we'll touch on some other things as we move along throughout the afternoon. It is time to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces, whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. You know what, Jay?
Yeah, what?
I'm actually excited.
You are?
Well, as close to as excitement as I can feel.
I could tell.
But I just try to soak these days in. I really do. I get asked a lot, like, somebody will say to me, well, you get to go to every Oilers home game? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, that must be awesome. Well, okay, I guess, but like it's become part of my routine now. So, day to day, it's part of what I do. I realize it's cool and I'm very lucky, but you got to work, right? And it's part of the routine of the job. But when we get to the first home game of the playoffs, like I really try, like tonight. So I'm going to drive to the Ice District after work. I'll park in the parking lot. I'll walk over to Ice House, say hello to Tom. Might have a bite to eat. Well, probably will need to. Yeah. I got to be nourished for the game, and then I'll get to the rink, cross the street, get to the rink, get to my seat in the media center, and especially the first playoff game like this. And I would even do this at Ched because usually I'd be done the face-off show, by 10 to the hour, and then you kind of go upstairs as the maybe the warm-up is ending or it's the intermission warm-up. And I just try to take everything in. You're up top there, you got a good perch, and I just try to take in all the pregame stuff they did, dimming the lights, there's a pump-up video or two. That's usually last year's was a blast. It was what's that song? Party Hard by Andrew WK. Like they just did a great job. The video was great. The crowd gets into it. And then the Oilers come out onto the ice. The crowd goes crazy. I know the crowd is still going to be spirited tonight, even though it's 0-2. I mean, they haven't had a chance to cheer on the Oilers in the series. They're going to try to be positive and think they can make a difference. And I just try to observe all that and remember, even if you don't remember every little thing, like that's one of those things, just be in the moment. Just experience it. Just feel, I guess as I often say, I try not to feel a lot of feelings, and I don't have any many naturally, but I try to just feel pride in living in Edmonton and in oil country and seeing the passionate fan base and the fans in that rink as they come out on the ice. And just soaking in, this is an NHL big league presentation with the Oilers coming out. The fans are into it. The scoreboard's going. The players are pumped. So I'm actually fired up for that. Just taking in those pregame moments, and the fact that I'm very fortunate to be there, that I get a unique view of it. And as I've been saying for the last couple of days, even though there's been a lot of man, oh man, the Oilers got to do this, they got to do this, they got to do this. Game starts 0-0. This could be the most special night in hockey history. Could be the greatest game I've ever seen. Connor McDavid could go get 6 points. There's just those moments where it's the excitement, it's the anticipation, it's being in the moment, and there's that blank canvas. What story is going to be painted on it tonight? I'm fired up for that, for Gemco Fireplaces.
I think that deserves a round of applause. That was very well put. And I appreciate that you take the time to do that and absorb it and see it for what it is. It's a cool thing. It's a very, very neat thing when a city and their fans rally around a team. It's neat. It's bonding. It's inspiring. And the sights and sounds of it are just amazing. You get that Metallica going just before they get out on the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's goosebumps. The orange flags. I mean, who can't wait to see the orange flags in action. It's going to be great. I have a similar fired up, Reid. I'm fired up for a colleague of ours who's going to be experiencing the whole all the emotions tonight for the first time. I'm talking about young YouTube Trev.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The morning show producer. I am so excited for him. He's lived in Pincher Creek or Lethbridge his whole life. He came up here last year, but he was working at Boston Pizza for the playoffs the last time they were in. Or prior to 2 years ago, sorry.
Okay.
Last year he was working here.
Right.
This is the first time he's had an opportunity. It's a Friday shift, Friday game day. He doesn't have to work tomorrow. He's no longer doing pre and post game show.
Right.
He left here. It was like he was hovering. I didn't even see his feet touching the ground. He is on cloud 9 right now, and I'm all for it. He's going to go home. He's going to have a nice little rest, get his mind right, maybe have a 6 o'clocker lager, and then he's heading down to the Moss Pit. He's heading down to the Canadian Ice House to see you and Tommy. And he's just going to take it all in and soak it all up and be a part of what I think is way out of my league. But there was a time in my younger years where I would have done anything to be there. And he's doing it for the first time. So I'm excited for YouTube Trev. I told him to text me throughout the night. To make sure
good luck.
Make sure you're okay, Trev. I don't want to make sure he's okay, but just give me updates. Tell me what the vibe is. Tell me how many people you've seen puke or how many fights you've witnessed. I need to know it all. It's a crazy land out there, Reid. It's a young person's game. I don't belong there, but I sure like to hear about it. So I'm fired up for YouTube Trev. Just give her.
Yeah. I just, a lot of, I know a lot of people are worried. I know the team has some flaws, but when it starts tonight, like I said, it's 0-0 when it starts tonight, and I guess I try to remember to, it's our job to talk about the team and break down the team. And a lot of this week has been breaking down the faults of the team. And, I know in our chat and our text line, there's a lot of pick your scapegoat, whichever coach, player, manager you want to pick. That's fine. And, we're a forum for that. But I hope those people also realize there are a lot of fans who just want to watch the game and enjoy it and hope their favorite player does well, or they see something special, or they get to see a miraculous performance. They don't know. Not every Oilers fans know a lot. Don't get me wrong, but there are some fans, they don't know every contract. They don't know every line combination. They don't know every style of forechecking. They just want to get into it and watch a fun hockey game. So let's all get it. Let's all appreciate that and be fired up about that tonight. I hope. But probably a lot of people are saying, Reid, no. No.
What? What would they say no about? How could they say no to you?
They have people say no to me all the time.
You've inspired the masses with your brilliant fired up segment there. Bones is chiming in for the off-topic topic for William Huff. What are you doing today, superstition-wise, to help the Oilers? He says, I'm changing my golf ball for the Oilers. I just picked up 4 dozen Titleist balls with number 29 on them.
Oh, wow.
So that's huge. Hey, guys, this is from William Mikespear, Poet Laureate for the Reid Wilkins Show. Hey, guys, I'm doing my part tonight. I didn't have any 6 o'clock or loggers for Game 1 and Game 2. Situation remedied this afternoon. No excuses now.
Yeah.
He says.
It's Friday.
I might have to get me some 6 o'clock or loggers on the way home.
Yeah, why not?
Woo!
Why not? I got a limerick here from, let's do Bronco Nick's first. I got a few coming in. Bronco Nick, first of all, I have to drop by the office here to he won more stuff, of course.
Of course.
He writes, Oilers are home for Game 3. I hope they win. We'll see. Fear to cheer? Drink more beer. If not, I'll go chop a tree. And Bronco Nick also calling a 5-2 Oilers victory, which would bring a lot of joy in oil country, in Ice District, wherever fans will be gathering and celebrating tonight. Good stuff.
My buddy Murph texts me. He says he's doing his thing. He can't get on the YouTube, but he went on quick just for a thumbs up.
Oh, good.
He's listening on the audio stream. He crossed over, I think under the table, so to speak, mysteriously. And now he's back on the audio stream, but he did his part, and you should too. Wow.
Well, I did my part. I've played the song twice, and we're only at 96 thumbs.
Okay, well, we've got...
So I'm not sure, like people say, play the song and I'll give you a thumbs up. Clearly that bargain is not being honored by a lot of people. That's all I'm saying. Well, that's all I'm saying. Like, don't de-fire me by not thumbing the show.
You know what, then?
Don't get me de-fired up.
We're going to have to come back with the thumbs up remix, or as you like to call it, the thumbs up remax.
Yes, I did call it that once. I'm quite silly. All right. I gave the clue already. First clue was Nordiques for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Love talking to this gentleman, longtime Kings analyst and a former Kings player. Daryl Evans is next. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
With the Oilers down 2-0 in the series, Calvin Pickard gets a start in Game 3 against LA. Join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as him and Hernan Salas tee up the action at 6:30 right here on EST. In Montreal, Patrick Laine is a game-time decision for the Habs in Game 3 against the Capitals. Montreal down 2-0, while New Jersey looks for their first win over Carolina in Game 3. In basketball, sees a trio of Game 3s. The Celtics look to go up 3-0 on the Magic. The Bucks trail 2-0 to the Pacers, while the Lakers and Timberwolves clash, with that series tied at 1 apiece. Meanwhile, John Morant of the Grizzlies is ruled out for Game 4 against the Thunder tomorrow with a hip injury. OKC looking for the sweep. And after dropping their last 5 games, Toronto visits New York to challenge the Yankees in their opener of a 3-game series. Jose Barrios gets the ball for the Jays, and right now, just one game is live. It's 1-0 Cubs over the Phillies in the bottom of the 3rd inning. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Daryl Evans, LA Kings analyst, joins Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, the Click Thumb remix is put together by Zachary Kubusch, our technical producer and sports update deliverer. Here in the afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. We are in the Banquet Studio. Craving a late night snack? Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. until close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet Burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. Oilers, Kings, 8 o'clock. At Rogers Place. It is Calvin Pickard, the starting goaltender tonight for your Edmonton Oilers. Here's Captain Connor McDavid.
Yeah, he's played well all year. He's been solid for us, coming in big moments, and did it last year in the playoffs as well. So obviously a guy we got a lot of faith in, and I expect him to play great tonight.
All right, McDavid speaking this morning. Here's head coach Kris Knoblauch on going with Pickard.
Calvin's coming in and played some really big games for us. Dating back to last year, not playing for a while, coming in the Vancouver series, playing really well. This year, you look at his record, especially since probably January 1st, how many games he's won. We felt that we're in a position we need to win a game, and we have a lot of confidence in him.
All right, so Pickard going in, of course, he played the last half period of Game 2, did get beat on one shot. So Oilers need some solid goaltending tonight to take on really a very sharp and very high-flying Los Angeles Kings team, and discuss more about them. Former player on the team, longtime analyst with the club, Daryl Evans, checking in on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Daryl, it's Reid. How are you doing?
I'm great, Reid. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's awesome to speak with you. I know I'll see you at the game tonight and get to say hi to you there, but I always love having you on my programs. I'm going to dive right in. Look, this is how I've been putting it all week. The Kings have a good team, and I think they're playing great. And I just think they're hitting a high level and playing right at their potential. How do you see through the Kings through 2 games in the playoffs?
Yeah, I look at the team, especially with these teams now playing 4 years in a row. I think this is the best team that the Kings have put on the ice. and they are playing very well. There's no doubt about that. Most of the time through the course of the regular season, their power play, wasn't very efficient. The numbers, I think they, speak for themselves. But since the addition of Kuzmenko, the power play's taken a different complexion. They score more goals this year than they did in the past. There's a lot more depth in their lineup. And the guys that have been in the playoffs for, whether it be 1 year, 2 or 3 years against the Oilers, they've got a little bit more experience now. So they're a different hockey club. They believe in themselves. And, I think you have to give some credit to management as well for, the changes that they made last year in the off season, picking up guys like Warren Foegele, Joel Edmondson, Tanner Jeannot, even though he's not been in the series yet, Darcy Kemper in net. And as I mentioned, Darcy Kemper in goal. They brought some playoff Stanley Cup championships with a couple of the guys and a lot of playoff experience. Kyle Burrows, he's been with the team all year as well. So it's a different team, a little bit more size, a little bit more physicality, and they're getting good production out of pretty much everybody. There's a lot of depth in this team now.
Okay, well, you mentioned management, and I remember 2 years ago when the Oilers won the second series of the now 4 that they've played. Todd McLellan was the coach, and he said, look, to win the Stanley Cup, we got to get out of our division. And right now, Edmonton's in our division, and they've knocked us out 2 years in a row. How much of the Kings' approach to improvement was specifically beating the Oilers and counteracting the Oilers? Like maybe the thinking of, if we can put together a team that can beat the Oilers, we might also have a team that can win the Stanley Cup because the Oilers just went to the final. You know what I mean? Like how much did they say, we got to have guys that can stop McDavid, kill penalties, play bigger, play with more speed?
Yeah, there's no doubt that, everything was targeted to, or not everything, but majority of it was targeted against the Oilers. The Oilers being one of the elite teams in the league, a team that went right to the Stanley Cup final, you come within a game of winning. So that's a team you got to target yourself to beat. And again, because they're so familiar with each other, they've got a really good understanding as to, all the little different parts of the game that they needed to improve upon. And, instead of last off season last year, they could have gone off, big name free agents and things like that, but they brought in the glue players, the guys that really pulled the entire team together, and playoff experience, Stanley Cup championships. So this is a different team. There's a whole different feel, being around them every day, going to practice, watching them, play their games. There's depth. When Kuzmenko came on board, they were looking for that right shot on the power play. He's provided them an element that they hadn't had for quite a while. And, now the way the players are slotted out, there's production coming from, more than one line. Adrian Kempe has become a world-class player the last few years. And, he thrives in the playoffs. He takes his game to another level. We've seen the growth of Quentin Byfield, the responsibility that he's taking on. And then the veteran players themselves are doing a great job. Laferriere is starting to expand and grow his role. Young defensemen, guys like Brant Clark, and who's playing in his first playoffs. But these, they're getting contributions from a lot of different guys, and they're different elements that they've had before. Kings used to be more of a dump and chase, shut down, more passive through the neutral zone. But because of the change structurally, they're more aggressive, and they're more a take it to you type of team. They're scoring more goals, and they've got better goaltending they've had the last couple of years with Darcy Kemper this year.
Daryl Evans joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show, LA Kings analyst. Daryl, you got Jay here. The LA Kings, 31-6-4 at home, 17-19-5 on the road. What can you attribute the discrepancy in the home record versus the away record for this Kings team?
Well, I think when you look at the start of the season, the Kings started off the season with a 7-game road trip. And early January, they had played 2 7s and 2 5-game road trips. So the majority of the road games were played at the beginning of the year, and that's when they were kind of transitioning, system changes with Jim Hiller, and it took a little bit of time. And then when you look at the second part of the season, or even let's say the last third or so, 22 of the last 32 games were on home ice, and the Kings really they got themselves in a rhythm at home. A lot of confidence at home, no doubt about it. But the way the Kings closed the regular season out on the road, I think is a little bit more of a reflection as the type of team that they are. They finished out 5-2 on the road in their last 7 road games. So I think those early games on the road, there was no Drew Doughty for the first basically 50 games of the year. So that didn't help. You're bringing in new players. Everybody's trying to kind of get a feel for each other. And I remember Rob Blake saying when we talked to him that, this team was being built for March and April and hopefully into May and June as well. And we're starting to see a little bit of that all come together.
All right, Daryl, when you do a show like this one in oil country, we get a lot of discussion. What's wrong with the Oilers? What do they have to do? How do they counteract what the Kings are doing? You're covering the Kings, so you see more from their perspective, and you've been around. You've covered and played a lot of playoff hockey. So I'll ask you from your perspective, even though the team you cover is up 2-0, what worries you most about the Oilers coming into these 2 weekend games?
Well, again, it's, when you've got 2 of the best players in the world and, McDavid and Draisaitl, they pose a threat every time they step on the ice. And you've got to be aware of that. And, the Kings are very aware of that. You look at those 2 individual numbers against the Kings, whether it be the postseason or the regular season, both players have got a lot of success. So I think the Kings, they'll approach it as they've had the last couple of games and hope, they hope to have the same type of success. You got to take away time and space. A key for the Kings is going to be to stay out of the penalty box, and I think they've done a good job at that in the first couple of games, only being short a handful of times. Those guys thrive when they're on the man advantage, but they've got depth. There's a lot of different guys. You look at what Zach Hyman did last year, Nugent Hopkins, what he's capable of doing. So, Corey Perry, he's a playoff type of player. Now you get Evander Kane back in the lineup. So there's a lot of good players over there. And, you just have to, just keep doing what you're doing. You've got all 5 guys on the ice have to be committed. And I think that's where the Kings are succeeding right now is they're committed to playing that defensive style of hockey. And yet when the opportunities come, they're going on the attack. So I think they're taking advantage of the Oilers, not having a guy like Ekholm in the lineup, a long reach, big experienced defenseman. I think that has definitely made a little bit difference here in the first couple of games, and the Kings will try to, keep that moving. But Edmonton always poses a threat, and we'll see well with the line matchups, how they go here. I don't expect too many changes on who's matching up against who because, everybody's so comfortable playing against each other that it's just a matter of execution. So you got to play it out, and as soon as the puck goes down, there's going to be a lot of energy in that building, and it's a matter of which team's able to use it to their advantage and stay in the moment.
Daryl, you got Jay here again. A couple. Let's get to know Daryl Evans questions from me here, if you don't mind. I see you on Twitter and I see your attire. And for those that don't know, do yourself a favor and look up Daryl Evans and his clothing collection because Daryl, you are a dapper man. I must admit, you dress to impress, and it is awesome. When did that begin? Why did it be? And how many different suit, combinations would you have in that closet of yours?
Well, when I growing up, our family didn't have a lot of money, and I remember just the feeling of getting my first 3-piece suit, and it felt really neat to be able to dress up, and and then I remember when I started playing that, I took pride in the clothing that I got, and for whatever reason, and I really don't know where it come from, but I always like things a little bit different. Like I like shiny material. And as times evolved, it's, they're getting a little, I expanded on things a little bit. And I think, my suits are kind of an expression of as to who I am. I'm a, kind of an energetic, lively type of person. And I think my suits kind of, say that about me. So I have a lot of fun with it. I've probably got about 60 suits right now. But I wear a suit close to 200 days a year, so I get good use out of them. I have a lot of fun with the young lady that makes my suits, and coming together and putting plans on how we're going to lay them all out and all that. So she enjoys making them, and I enjoy wearing them. So it creates a lot of fun, and I'm glad there's a lot of people out there to appreciate it. And but that's really the only reason.
Well, you said you're energetic, you're lively. Yes, I mean, looking at you, you look like a fit, active person. And I noticed that you like to take in a game day run. Wherever, whatever road city you're in, you like to document it and send that out so people know where you're running, what you're doing. What is, in your opinion, the best city to go for a game day run in?
Road City, Daryl. You can't say LA.
Road City. Yes, Road City.
Now, are we talking in January or are we talking in April?
Okay. For the benefit of Edmontonians here, I'm going to say in April.
No, you know what? It doesn't really faze me. The wintertime. I love running down by the water. So anytime there's like water around, or like a running path or a trail or something like that, like something just out in nature type of thing, I enjoy that. And a lot of the the road cities, it's tough to pick up everyone, because like I say, I like the water so much. So here I was down by the river this afternoon. It was absolutely gorgeous down there. And, I just take it in. I can listen. I can hear the water just kind of let me, relax and calm myself and all that. So if there's water around, that's probably the first thing that I look for.
Oh, good answer. Good answer, and good mentioning the North Saskatchewan. I know you've been down there pretty much every time you get to visit. Hey, Daryl, thanks for being so generous with your time. You're a great guest. We appreciate your perspective on the Los Angeles Kings, and I'll see you at the rink tonight.
All right, guys, I look forward to it. Keep up the great work, and should be one heck of a hockey game tonight.
Right on. That is Daryl Evans checking in, longtime Kings broadcaster and a player for the team in the 1980s as well. So long affiliation with the Kings. So you heard it from him. Kind of reference what you and I had talked about. The Kings, good acquisitions last couple of years, and certainly with a mind toward, well, we got to beat the Oilers. If we got to get out of the division, we got to beat the Oilers. And if we have a team that can beat the Oilers, we can probably beat Vegas or Calgary or Vancouver or whoever you might wind up playing. So, they're looking good. He talked about a lot of the players we've talked about, really sort of feeling it, blossoming, whatever term you want to use. So, a good perspective there from Daryl. And hopefully people know about the clothing.
If you don't, look it up. It's wonderful. I love that.
It's I'll put it this way. It's noticeable, but not flamboyant.
Yeah, it's
if that makes sense.
It's classy.
It's still like, oh, that's like cool.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, okay, but
it's not all patterns and everything all the time.
Yeah,
he'll wear like a velour coat, like a dark blue
it's kind of like,
velour.
okay, the guy enjoys dressing like
he likes
that,
to look nice.
But he's not sort of and
look at me.
Yeah, he doesn't have that type of personality either.
Nice guy. Fit. He loves to run.
This is still exciting for you though, interviewing a lot of these people for the first time, eh?
I don't know if it'll ever not be exciting, Reid. I'm just a nerd for this kind of stuff.
Well, as you should be.
Yeah. So I just love it. I love talking to different people, and he's one of the best. And I mean, he's played in the NHL a long time as well.
He did.
Yes.
He really did.
He did.
People may want to keep that in mind. Just saying. Oh, I maybe said too much. All right. You can keep texting us. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Our off-topic topic. What are you doing today to help the Oilers? Do you have anything you want to get to now, or wait?
Well, I did have a couple people earlier say that they're going to sit on the other side of the couch tonight.
You got to move.
Yeah, Bronco Nick, I'm going to sit on the left side of my couch. I sat on the right side in both games 1 and 2. And I think that's totally acceptable. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Just switch things up ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And who knows? And you can attribute.
Do your own line shuffling.
Yeah. Ooh, sensitive. That's a sensitive subject right now.
Is it really?
I think it is. Yeah,
I guess it is.
There's a lot of people that, and this is not just in the nasty chat, but this is coming in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, that are questioning why Jay Skinner is not in the lineup again. I mean, we've been over this. We've talked about it. It's his lack of ability to contribute anywhere on the ice other than in the offensive, stat category.
Right.
He can't play the PK. He's not really a defensive specialist. And I think right now would probably be the worst time to inject that back into the lineup when the Oilers are looking for anything and anyone to help them defensively.
Yes, fair enough. I mean, I guess the flip side to that is that Trent Frederick probably isn't 100%. Frederick came as advertised as having the ability to muck it up, and I think he's trying. I just don't know if he can get to the spots needed to muck it up. That would be the flip side to that. But I mean,
okay,
like who else? Okay, so who are you taking out?
If Frederick's not ready to go, I would rather put a guy like Max Jones in that could at least skate and muck it up, right? And play a bit more of a defensive style than Jeff Skinner.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I
mean, the upside to Jeff Skinner is that this team is not scoring goals, or they haven't. They didn't last game.
No, I mean, really, So how many goals have the Oilers scored in this series? 7?
7.
McDavid has 4 points?
Yeah.
Who got the Oilers' first goal last game? Oh, Draisaitl. Klingberg to Draisaitl.
Yeah.
I think McDavid was on the ice for that one, though. Yeah, I know some people say we'll take Arvidsson out. I mean, at least he scored. I know that didn't always help Skinner stay in the lineup. I know. I mean, we're even getting take Nugent Hopkins out. Look, everybody, we've all been critical of Nugent Hopkins, me included. But he's not coming out of He's not coming out of the lineup. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for Jeff Skinner. I think this will be his one and only year as an Edmonton Oiler, and then we won't be talking about his usage next season. All right, we'll look at the lines. We'll get some comments from Knoblauch, from McDavid, Nurse, and Calvin Pickard, who's the starting goaltender tonight. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can chat with us and with each other in our nasty chat on YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, keep clicking away at that thumbs up button. We are 20 away from double word of the day at 155, and we want to get to 200.
Had a special request. This might help the thumbs, Reid. This is from Barry the Cheater. He says, I would never say no to Reader J, but can I get a Paul Stanley scream to get the Oilers ready for tonight's win?
That's what they should skate out to. Forget about Metallica.
just on repeat.
Just that. All right, here's the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
I mean, listen, Brady Tkachuk tying the game. There was great energy in the building, but the Leafs have a level of resilience and I think just an inner confidence that we haven't seen in these Leafs teams before.
Yep.
And I don't know whether it is some of the personnel. I'm not sure whether it's the Craig Berube on the bench, but you got to give credit to the players that are actually out there doing it as well.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games. PlayMoreGames.ca.
The Oilers-Kings series goes to Edmonton for Game 3. Calvin Pickard is the starter tonight with the Oilers trailing 2-0 in the series. Swing by the Canadian Ice House to join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live from the Ice District for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Hernan Salas. Tune in at 6:30 only on EST. And a couple other teams are looking for their first win of their series. Game 3 between Washington and Montreal goes down. Habs trailing 2-0 with Patrick Laine as a game-time decision, while the Devils and Hurricanes hit the ice from New Jersey. Carolina leading 2-0. Some big matchups in the NBA playoff picture has Indiana on the road in Milwaukee for Game 3. The Pacers taking the first 2 games, while the Lakers and Timberwolves go at it. That series tied at 1 apiece. Meanwhile, Boston looks to take a 3-0 series hold on Orlando. And for tomorrow's game, Memphis's Ja Morant is out for Game 4 against the Thunder with a hip injury. The Grizzlies down 3-0 in that series. In baseball, Jose Barrios takes the mound for the Jays in their opener against the Yankees. A full slate around the MLB. Right now, Phillies are down 2 runs to the Cubs midway through the 4th inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Oh, yeah, there's a little boppy tune to get you excited for the game tonight. 8 o'clock, Oilers and Kings at Rogers Place. Jason Milne and I are with you until 6:30, an extended edition of the Reid Wilkins Show, extending it by half an hour, taking you right into the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show at 6:30 with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. You probably heard the Koob just saying Tom will be live in the Ice House in Ice District Plaza. I will be visiting Tom there as well, so say hi to Tom. Maybe get his autograph or take a photograph with him. He's a nice guy. Very beautiful man.
Handsome, Tom.
Here's how the Oilers are going to line up tonight. Will this be a handsome lineup that'll produce a beautiful victory? McDavid with Draisaitl and Hyman. Loading up! Nugent Hopkins, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson. Nuge has to do something. Henrique with Kane and Brown. And then Janmark with Frederick and Perry. The defense, I'm not listing pairings. I am just going to read the names. I'll even read them in random order. Wallman, Emerson, Kulak, Bouchard, Nurse, Klingberg. There, I just let my eyes go around. Because I guess Klingberg and Bouchard were a pair, at least at times, at the morning skate. And then Knoblauch was asked about that.
I wouldn't look at too much into that.
All right.
What did he say?
I wouldn't look at too much into that.
I wouldn't what did he say?
I wouldn't look at too much into that.
Let's try it again.
I wouldn't look in too much to
I
that.
wouldn't look at too much into that.
I wouldn't
look at too much into that.
I wouldn't look into much into that.
that.
That's fine. I mean, I scramble my words all the time.
That would be a fun clip to keep for the summer shows.
We might. We might. Pickard, the goaltender, since the Four Nations face-off, 8-5-1, 899 save percentage, 301, 3.01 goals against average. As we bring you the Oil Understood. It is provided by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. What do you have there? A pom-pom?
This is a pom-pom. It says Edmonton Sports Talk on it. It's from William Huff.
Oh, it's our William Huff stuff. Yeah, that's great. All right, so those are the lines. Here's the thing, everybody. I don't know if those were the lines. Those are the lines I would go with. I'm not the coach. You're not the coach. If they don't play better, the lines won't matter. I mean, really?
Well, I mean, let's refresh. Let's look back. You and I talked about this yesterday and thought maybe going away from the nuclear option and taking RNH out of the center position, putting back on the top line with Hyman and McDavid might get Nuge going.
Right.
That's what I guess the thought was to get Nuge going, because as of up till now, there really hasn't been much there.
No, well,
and not really much else anywhere.
Who's played? Look,
good question.
We're accepting the fact that maybe the Kings are just better, but who's played to expectations in this series? Probably McDavid. I would still say McDavid. I mean, I wouldn't even say Draisaitl. I wouldn't say Hyman. Certainly wouldn't say Nugent Hopkins. I wouldn't say Podkolzin, quite frankly. I was expecting more of a presence from Podkolzin. I mean, maybe you'd say Perry, and maybe, quite frankly, you'd even say Janmark, because at least he scored and he kind of mucks it up a little bit. Like, who at forward have you really looked at and said, oh, that guy's got the spark. That guy's digging? Nobody, or almost nobody. So that's the problem.
I really don't mind the way Arvidsson's been playing. It looks like he's putting in a bit more and wanting to engage in the battles. I mean, look at that goal he scored.
That was a good goal.
That was a battle. That was where you got to be to get the job done. Pucks on net, bodies in front. He was at least doing it. He's been noticeable on the forecheck. I haven't really minded the way he's played.
No, that's fair enough. I think there's I'll say some merit to that.
Some.
I won't completely agree with you. But
yeah, which is fair.
At least he went to the front of the net and scored that goal, which is what they need to do. There's step one: get to the front of the net, bother Kemper, be a nuisance for him.
But that in itself is the problem.
Yes,
is you cannot sit here and say outside of McDavid anybody has been overachieving or in any semblance of achieving at all.
Well,
for the Oilers forward,
right? And I think sometimes when you're watching a game, it's okay. This guy's on the ice. Do you feel safe at the very least, or do you feel okay? This guy might make a play, or at least if he doesn't make a play, he won't screw up. There's going to be good effort. Like, he's going to be engaged. I don't know. There's not a lot. I don't have a lot of that feeling from Oilers players where, okay, this guy's on the ice. There's going to be a forecheck. Something's going to get started. He might dump the puck in and get a big hit. Like, they're just trying to survive, and the Kings are playing better. And then, as I've been saying, defensively, there's times it looks like in their own end, the Kings have 7 guys on the ice because they're in the right spot. They're big. They're quick. They got active sticks, and they're not giving the Oilers much. Can it change? Yes, but a lot needs to change for sure. Here is, which clip do we want to go to? Well, Knoblauch was asked where they need to improve.
Get a little bit better in all areas. 5-on-5 a little bit. There's some things that we can do, and not giving up chances, and generating a little more, getting a little hungry around the net, being able to make something out of maybe something that's not really there, and that's just through hard work, driving the net, stuff like that. But and then also, you look around the playoffs, not only our series but all of them. The biggest factor on winning and losing is usually special teams, and you look at our success last year that we had our run, our power play, our penalty kill were phenomenal.
Well, I think that's obviously true. I mean, if the Oilers have not scored a power play goal, if the Oilers had 0 power play goals, but the Kings also had 0 power play goals, it's probably 1-1. I won't say 2-0 Edmonton because there was still a 4-goal victory for LA. But also, if you look at when the goals were scored, right? I mean, who knows? But even if the power play goals were 2-0 for Los Angeles, maybe it's 1-1 in this series. But that, to me, I still say, despite what we're talking about, but the lineups and the turnovers, special teams is still, to me, the biggest story in this series. It has not been close, and the Oilers' power play is not 0-4 with 18 golden scoring opportunities. It's 0-4 with maybe 2, right? And the Kings is 5-for-10 with a bunch of great chances they didn't score on. I mean, Skinner's play criticized, rightfully so, but he actually made some good saves when the Kings were on that power play in the third period of game 1. So to me, that's the first step of the turnaround. Win the special teams battle. Take fewer penalties, and then win the special teams battle.
2 games played for the Oilers, 30 minutes in penalties. That's 15th out of the 16 teams that are in the playoffs.
Let's say that again.
30 minutes in penalties. That's 15th out of 13th out of the 16 teams in the playoffs.
Right. Now, that would include Podkolzin's
that 10 minutes.
But yeah, they've been shorthanded 10 times in 2 games, which is way too many. I mean, let's face it, they were shorthanded. They were 2 men down twice in Game 3 of Game 1. Now, one of those was the puck over the glass with the unsuccessful challenge, but still, they're penalties you got to kill off. All right, Oil understood for GCL Diesel. Knoblauch was also asked about using McDavid on the PK.
Well, one, he can handle it. The one, we took it away from him, not because we didn't feel he was confident or we didn't have confidence in him doing it. It was just he had enough on his plate, playing 5-on-5, power play, playing 22, 24 minutes a night that, let's take a little something away from him. Now, us losing a penalty killer with Kapanen, we needed somebody to do that. And, McDavid and Kapanen are very similar on that penalty kill jobs, is they can both skate really, really well. And Kapanen's been a partner for Podkolzin, and now that we felt that was the best transition to put him in that spot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of McDavid on the PK. Quite frankly, that's my biggest that's probably the biggest criticism I've had of Knoblauch in a season and 3/4 of him coaching. Or almost 2 full
Really?
seasons. Yes. I would not use McDavid on the PK unless you're down in the 3rd period like they were in Game 1. I wouldn't have put him out there in the 1st period. I wouldn't have had him out there in the 2nd period to kill penalties. I realize he can handle the ice time. But still, why tax him in that situation? There are other players who specialize in it. Like, I don't know. Somebody asked about the roles that players have on a team. So, like, if I were a depth player, or would depth players be sitting there saying, okay, wait a minute, I don't play the last 5 minutes of the game. Because if we're behind, McDavid plays. If we're ahead, McDavid plays to try and get an empty netter. Now I can't even kill a penalty? And I mean, he's not one of those players where he's going to be desperate to get into a shooting lane. I mean, that's just not his game. That's not his role. His role is to score goals. If you're shorthanded, you're trying to kill the penalty. You're trying to prevent a goal. You put him out there, again, like I was saying, if you put McDavid out there, it's almost you're admitting desperation.
Yeah.
It's like if I were the LA Kings, I'd be like, this is incredible.
Right.
They're so intimidated by us. And we're locking them down so much 5-on-5, they have to put McDavid out on our power play to try to get him to steal the puck and score. So I don't buy that at all. I do not like seeing McDavid.
Well, and like you said, I mean, he's out there. Okay, let me ask you this, Reid. Is Connor McDavid out there more as a true penalty killer, or is he out there?
No, he's out there trying to score a shorthanded goal.
To take advantage of the 5 forwards they have on the ice. Then don't do that.
Right.
Right? Because he's then preoccupied with the exact opposite reason why you're on the ice.
Right. Like, I'll put it this way. I'd like to use football as an analogy sometimes because it's a set static play. Okay? You're going to run the ball on a 2nd and half a yard. You put in a couple of tight ends. You don't put your star receiver in close to the line and say, okay, block.
Exactly. Yeah. And knowing that, the LA Kings could exploit that, quite frankly. Because he's going to be chasing those 50-50 pucks and trying to poke it through and be gone. But if it comes around the other way, that's quickly a 5-on-3.
Yeah. Jared says, I would agree with you, Reid, except for these 2 circumstances. Number 1, LA using 5 forwards. Our penalty killers specialize in sucking on the penalty kill this season. Well, so that's why they're doing it, because LA has 5 forwards. Okay, fair comment. The Oilers' penalty kill has not been good. I don't know if McDavid makes it better. I mean, I understand you're trying to exploit the 5 forwards, but figure it out. Like, coach it up. And this will be a test of the Oilers' coaching staff to see if the special teams improve tonight as well. They have to try to do something different to counteract what is happening. And again, like I was saying, the pressure is also on LA to keep it up. I don't know if LA can keep up a 50% power play for the entire postseason.
Okay, a 5 for 10 power play for the Kings, and 0 for 5 power play for the Oilers.
Right.
Which of those 2 whether it's the PK or your own power play, would you rather see improve?
PK, because you got to keep the puck out of the net. At least then you can kill it off and then have a chance to do something.
See, I just don't know if that's possible the way that Kings power play's clipping. They're moving the puck around. They're scoring, getting the goaltender out of position and scoring, east-west, so to speak, style or type goals. Whereas the power play looks lost. I mean, they're having a hard time gaining entry into the zone.
Yeah.
Let alone setting up and some semblance of puck movement.
Well, here's what David said about the Oilers' power play.
In terms of the power play, I think we need to just clean up our kind of puck play, some of the decisions that we made with it. They have a kill that you're not going to necessarily have a ton of zone time on them, or you're not going to just kind of massage it and pass it around. It's going to be work, and the look that you do get is going to be a grade A+. So we got to be ready to bear down on that. When we have, I thought we found ways to generate chances. We just haven't buried them.
All right, we'll see how that shakes down tonight. We got to take a quick timeout. Former Oilers goaltender Ben Scrivens will join us next. Keep clicking the thumbs up on YouTube. Our next goal is to get to 200 as quickly as possible. Let's go, everybody. Click away. Here comes the Koob.
From the heart of Edmonton, Calvin Pickard gets a start for the Oilers against the Kings in Game 3. LA up 2-0 in the series. Catch the extended version of the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas 90 minutes before puck drop right here on EST. You can also join Gazzola live on location at the Canadian Ice House or tune in at 6:30. Two other games are on tap. Montreal hosting Washington. Canadians trailing 2-0 while the Hurricanes and Devils face off in Game 3. Carolina picking up 2 wins in the first 2 games. On the court, the Lakers look to take a 2-1 series lead against the T-Wolves in Game 3. Milwaukee fights to take a game down 2-0 in the series against the Pacers, while Boston tips off with Orlando. Boston taking the first 2 meetings. And John Morant for the Grizzlies is out for Game 4 tomorrow against the Thunder due to a hip injury. Baseball sees a full slate. The Jays get Jose Barrios on the mound in their opener against the Yankees, with Toronto on a 5-game slide. Right now, the Cubs hold the Phillies 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Former Oilers goalie Ben Scrivens checks in once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. We are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Today is Friday. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. Clue number 2 in our Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game is Kings. First clue, Nordiques. Second clue, Kings. You must text your guesses. We only accept guesses coming into the text inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, 780-218-9999. One of the big stories of the day, of course, is that Calvin Pickard will start Game 3 for the Oilers against the Kings. To discuss that and who knows what else, former Oilers goaltender Ben Scrivens checking in. Ben, it's Reid. This is my new colleague, Jay. I know it's your first time on this show. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm doing very well. Thanks a lot for taking time to join us. I know you got a limited window here, so I'm going to dive right in. How is Calvin Pickard feeling today?
You know, I mean, undoubtedly nervous, right? Or maybe I shouldn't say nervous. I would say elevated. There's no way that you can't be, but it would be. I would be remiss to say that he's the only one feeling elevated, right? The rest of this group has their back against the wall as much as Pix does. The thing working in Pix's favor is he's been in this spot before. You know, you look back to the Vancouver series last year, and even down the stretch, you know, with Skins going down late in the year, he played some big minutes in some tough situations. So, and you know, largely had a better than passing grade in a lot of those. So, you know, he's there. You can't help but have some nerves coming into a spot like this. But, you know, I don't think it's any different than a lot of the other guys that he's suiting up next to in the room today.
Obviously, the Oilers have given up way too many goals in this series. We were talking about the special teams. We've been talking about some of the turnovers. Everything gets picked apart on a station like this one, which is fun. From what you've seen, how do you look at turnovers, flaws defensively, you know, versus just the need for maybe more big saves from goaltenders? Like, how do you sort of assess all these goals that the Kings have been able to score in this series?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's very much a cart and a horse in this, or a chicken and an egg, right? You don't have to make a ton of big saves if the team is dialed in front of you. And if the team's not dialed and you're giving up a flurry, you're probably going to give up a lot of good scoring chances, and it's going to be harder to keep those scoring chances out. So, you know, I look back to you know, my good game that everybody seems to talk about, right? In that game, they hit 2 posts, and there was a shot that's going in that gets blocked by Nick Schultz. You know, he gets down in the slot, it's going over my block. Like, you know, these ones are going in, right? You played the game long enough. So even a game like that requires some team and some outside help to accomplish what I did on that night. You know, tonight's no different for not only Pix, but for the rest of the group. It is, I mean, to a man, they've pretty much got to be better. McDavid was superhuman in the third period in game 1. But, I mean, as a group and as the leader of that group, they were pretty blasé for the first 2 periods, right? They kind of felt their way into that series. You now have a situation where, I mean, tonight's their season. Whether they want to admit it or not, if tonight doesn't go the way they need it to go, they know how hard it is to come back from a 3-0 deficit and to catch lightning in a bottle 2 series in a row is, I mean, that's wishful thinking. So, you know, it's a bold choice going with Pix with your season on the line, but also he's earned it. And unfortunately for Stu, who's put together a really solid career in Edmonton, you know, he seems to have a, you know, whether it's situational or whether it's, you know, the result of his play, he seems to have a little bit of trouble in putting together solid playoff runs.
All right. And I'm glad you mentioned, you know, you need to be bailed out. So, like, I think the best save in this series by an LA King was Gavrikov knocking that rebound away from Hyman in the first period of the last game. Because I really don't think the Oilers have done enough to test Kemper. My personal observation. So when we say get more traffic to the net, bug the goalie. I mean, you were a goalie, so like since you were 6, the other little kids were trying to bug you. You know, the aggressive ones.
Yeah.
When you're an NHL goalie, what sort of traffic or net presence actually bothers you the most?
It's funny. I'm laughing as you're getting the rest of the question out, because I have never seen a pre-scout on a goalie that says anything other than he's down often, in tight, put it up high, hates traffic, struggles with traffic. It's like, I mean, it would be interesting to see a goalie who likes traffic, who like really thrives in that, right? It's kind of, I don't even know what a parallel would be in any other sport or any other position, but like essentially what you need to do with traffic is it's got to be like dynamic traffic, right? You somewhat gone are the days of the Holmstroms, of the Ryan Smiths. Corey Perry's a bit of a throwback, but just planting yourself in front. The D-men now are too strong. They get body position early. They're a little bit too intelligent. The goalies are also a lot bigger, so they can be looking around the screens in a way that if it's too static, all the goalie needs to do is see the release. Because once the release happens, unless there's a deflection, which, you know, all bets are off whether or not he sees that or not. But if he sees the release and it comes through traffic, I mean, you can catch it on the other side of a screen. It may look challenging. It may look like you can't see it, but once you kind of have a read on that path of the puck, you know, you've got a pretty good shot at getting it. What traffic is meant to do, or the optimal type of traffic, is the traffic where you screen on the release, right? Because a goalie's never picking it up once it's coming. And so you see like Claude Giroux's goal the other night. I mean, on the power play, he walks it up the top and it looked like a harmless wrister, right? But it beats Stolarz, who's playing well, because he doesn't see that release. Giroux does a great job of maneuvering the traffic and maneuvering himself so that his release point is directly behind the screen. Kaprizov had a similar one, right? Walking up the top, just kind of throws it on net. That's what people talk about when they say doesn't have to be the hardest shot, right? Like if, you know, we obviously are incredibly fortunate to have a shot like Bouchard on the power play. But if a guy's going to see it, I mean, it's going to be tough for Bush to beat goalies from distance without there being any sort of traffic. So even at the strength of his shot, and he obviously it's an asset and a weapon for him in that power play, it can be nullified if there's not dynamic traffic in front. And dynamic means in and out, changing positions, a lot of switches. You are trying to create broken plays, because if the goalie stops it, even if the goalie stops it and he hasn't seen the release, there's a high likelihood he's not controlling it. And now you've got that scramble in front. The D-men have it tough because they're looking at the release. Their back is to the net. Puck goes past them. They now have to turn to find the puck, and oftentimes it'll end up in their feet, and they're just kind of scrambling. Meanwhile, the forwards, if they're attacking the net through it, have a bit of an advantage in those kind of quick stick plays to try and retrieve and get another shot on net.
Ben, as we've learned, hockey players are creatures of habit, specifically on game days. We asked earlier in the show for our off-topic topic as far as superstitions go, and what are you doing differently today to will the Oilers to a win tonight? Ben, were you a superstitious goalie player when you played, or was it just, yeah, I'm not too worried about things?
I hate superstitions.
Okay.
I despise them. It's one of my common rants that I go on when I talk to people in the hockey world around the rinks, because we get, especially as a goalie, you're painted with this brush of being weird, right? And oftentimes that comes from Fleury still talks to his posts and whatnot. But like the most superstitious guy in the league is Crosby, and if he did half of am I allowed to swear on here? No.
You can say crap.
Okay, if he does half of the crap that he does, but he was a goalie, he would be this prototypical mold of a guy's out there, but because he's a player, and obviously he's a fantastic player. Not that he gets a pass, but it's nobody really bats an eye. It's an idiosyncrasy that he has, not a trope of what it is. So my stance on superstitions, and like if there's any young kids out there, like there's a difference between routine and superstition. And like routine is great, right? Routine gets your body primed, gets your mind primed. It's injury prevention. It is getting your head and your eyes and your gross motor skills all together, like going in the right direction, right? So for sure, routine is good. The difference between a routine and a superstition is a routine you can change. I can do it in a different order. I'm still going to get the same result. My body's still going to be primed. But if I have to do this first, otherwise I'm going to play bad.
Yeah.
The only outcome that you get is you feel normal, right? Because if you do all your routines and it in a different order and blah, 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 you're going to feel baseline. You're going to feel good. Like even if you call it feeling good, that's still your baseline. You want to feel good all the time. So that's where your thing is, but you're never going to feel like better because of it. Versus a superstition. I mean, you put yourself in a mental hole every single time because you leave your preparation up to chance in a way, because there's stuff that inevitably goes wrong that is different. And it just cannot be a part of somebody's consistency if you're leaving how you play up to luck.
Well said, Ben. That's why we love having you on the show. Love how you broke things down. I think the last time I interviewed you was it game 7? It was either game 5 or 7 because you came and joined me in Fort Hall when I was at my other job.
Yeah.
So
So
it's been too long since we've seen you. So we'll keep it.
You can tell that I have that rant down. I've got it more succinct than I've had it at times past.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's
true.
Unfortunately, as a goaltender, you're thrust into this. Hey, though, he's got to touch this net and have blue Gatorade, and everything's got to be
how
right.
weird he is, yeah.
Or the other one is like, well, you got to be a little bit nuts to stand in front of 100-mile-an-hour shots. Who do you think blocks the shots in front of you without goalie equipment on? Like, we're the only sane ones because we have like the proper equipment. Instead, it's how many guys have you seen losing teeth and bloodied up and like broken feet, broken hands, broken fingers? Your guys' conversation about McDavid being on the penalty kill, the risk is he wears one and gets hurt, right? Yeah. That's the same shot, but we're weird because we stand in the way, but we got all the gear for it.
Well said. Okay, Ben, I'm sure I'll see you around the rink at some point. Really appreciate it. Keep in touch. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Ben Scrivens, former Oilers goaltender, living here in Edmonton. Love catching up with him. Good interview. Good explanation about the subtleties of traffic or being screened.
Yeah.
Like he said, the guys who maybe just the Holmstroms or the Ryan Smiths that just camp out there. It's not like that as much anymore. Like it's maybe crisscrossing or having layers. And I loved how he explained that, like hiding the release of the puck. Like basically said, if a goalie sees the release of a shot, he's got a really, really good chance to stop it. But if he doesn't pick it up right off the stick, then maybe it's going in. So good stuff there with Ben. Let's Jamie Thomas is going to join us as well. Let's push buying or selling to the start of that conversation because it factors into a Winnipeg Jets player.
Sure.
And I can also do we have a winner?
No.
Okay. If you're trying to win the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game, the 2 clues so far are Nordiques and Kings. To win, you must text 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. So did you have something else?
No. We cruised through our double word of the day territory. We are currently sitting at 174. So let's keep this train going. Let's get we'll
click. Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
Even Koob gets in on the.
Even Koob gets in.
Yeah.
He usually doesn't listen to the show.
He's a busy
That's
guy.
the only thing I want to hear, Reid.
That's it.
And that's what the people want to hear.
Just 3.5 hours of clicking.
A man of the people, the Koob.
Here is the Koob.
Game 3 Oilers Kings shakes down tonight. Calvin Pickard takes the crease for Edmonton with the team down 2-0. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas tee up the action during the extended version of the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Gazzola live on location at the Canadian Ice House beside Rogers Place. Tune in at 6:30 only on EST. Two other teams are looking for their first win of the series as Montreal faces Washington in Game 3 before the Devils and Hurricanes battle New Jersey, trailing 2-0. Basketball has 3 games on tap. Boston can go up 3-0 in their series over Orlando. The Bucks look to make some ground back 2-0 against the Pacers while the Lakers play the Timberwolves, having that series tied at 1 apiece. And for tomorrow, John Morant of the Grizzlies has been ruled out with a hip injury for Game 4 against OKC. Memphis looking to avoid the sweep. And in baseball, the Jays and Yankees open up a 3-game series on a full MLB slate. One game is live right now. The Cubs beating the Phillies 3-0 in the 6th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds, and Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. Jamie Thomas from the Ground Control Podcast joins us to talk some Jets and Blues on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Okay, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Counting you down to game time. Jay and I are with you until 6:30. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas take over the stream at 6:30 with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. They go until 8. Tom's going to be live at the Ice House in Ice District as the Oilers try to get their first win in this series. Keep clicking the thumbs up if you're on the YouTube stream. Doing not bad. We're at 179. We want to try to get to 255 by 6:30. So send the link to other people. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube if you haven't as well. And if you're on an audio stream, TuneIn Radio app, iHeartRadio app, set us as a preference or a favorite or all that kind of fun stuff that you can do for us. Before we get to Jamie Thomas from Ground Control, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets,
podcast.
I want to lead into him with buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So I saw a tweet. I don't even know who posted this. Was it Jesse Granger? that put this out from The Athletic. So there's this stat called goals saved above expected. And according to this stat, the goalie that is struggling the most in the NHL playoffs, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, is the Winnipeg Jets goaltender Connor Hellebuyck, who is -4. Put Jamie on camera, Koob, for the people on YouTube so people can get his reaction to this.
Sorry
if
to
they're
do
viewing
this,
us,
Jamie.
This stat has Connor Hellebuyck at a -4. So it basically, he has allowed 4 more goals than he should have in this series. Darcy Kemper is 4th worst, and Skinner is 5th worst. So that goes along with my argument that the Oilers aren't really testing Kemper. And the goalie who's made the most unexpected saves is a tie, Mackenzie Blackwood and Frederick Anderson. Now, I know we have people listening who love analytics, and I've been accused of being a host. It's like, Reid, you should talk about this more. Fair enough, but this I'm selling on this stat.
Yeah.
Tell me what an expected goal is. Jamie, the conch is yours, my friend. Hellebuyck's terrible.
What a stupid stat. Like, here, watch the goals that went in last night and tell me how he's supposed to stop probably 80% of those. Like stop it. They're always trying to find, like, nerds are ruining sports. Always. That's the whole thing about all of this. It's just find a way to get people mad by throwing a stat at it, something, and go, oh, you should have stopped that one. How? Like, Pavel Buchnevich kicks the puck in the air, knocks the puck out of there. Oh, so Helly's supposed to stop that one? Okay. Okay, that works for me. It redirected pucks in front of the net. Okay, whatever. So it's a great stat when you're plus 40, which I think Helly was throughout the regular season. But to drag this in at this point, and especially with Darcy Kemper, and Connor Hellebuyck, probably 1-2 in the Vezina Trophy balloting or whatever it's going to be. It's ridiculous. And I like, even after game 1 of the series, through 2 periods, my wife's texting me. She's telling me, "Oh, the Hockey Night Canada panel is worried about Helly." I'm like, "What?" Oh, he looks shaky, and then he makes a save at the end of the second period on a breakaway, and the Jets go on to win game 1. But even look at Linus Ullmark, guys. In the first game against the Leafs, everyone's, oh, he's this. He let in 6 goals. There were 3 power play goals, and there was a breakaway from Mitch Marner. What is Linus Ullmark supposed to do in those situations? The one from William Nylander was him cutting right across. He was in the low slot. What? So
no, but those are the expected goals, Jamie. Those ones are okay.
I know.
Well, listen, I tell you this. They should have stopped it with his blocker when he went across his body, because the expected goal rate says that this is where it's supposed to come into play.
Stop it. It's so aggravating. And now, like, listen, I've entered my 50s. Now everything bothers me about these things, because before I would buy into these things, but if you just watch the game for 5 seconds, that's why, like, I have so much respect for everybody that is a draft analyst, because it is a lot of tape to watch. But you can't tell me you can watch hours and hours and understand players inside and out. Like Dane Bergler, who does a thing for he calls it the Beast in the Athletic. It's like, I think he ranks 500 guys. How do you watch that many? Like, I respect the fact that you can put that out there. And if you're asking other people about him, sure. But you can't watch that much tape and then tell me you know everything about a guy. It's just, and it's the same thing with goaltenders. You have to, if you see the stats, Connor Hellebuyck's goals against average is not going to be where it was in the regular season. You're going to, oh my God, here we go again. But watch that game last night. His team did not help him at all last night. So much so they had to pull him in the third period. I don't know what Luke Shen was doing in the third period when he there was just a whole bunch of head scratching things going on. And Scott Arniel said the best. We lost that game in the first period. Yeah. It was over. And you could tell, and I'm not going to go off on because I'm pretty sure you're going to ask me about the Perfetti goal, because it was a goal. We're not going to get into that. But that still wouldn't have saved anything, because I remember they went to Vancouver one night. They kind of come back into the game a little bit, but then Vancouver scores 3 goals in the third period. Some nights it's just not there. And last night it was not there for the Jets. And that's why the amazing part about the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's amazing how people are like, oh, it's going to be a sweep. I'm like, no. Did you watch the St. Louis Blues this year? Both those games in Winnipeg were extremely close. The Jets just won the third period. So it is a long grind. And the Edmonton Oilers will tell you just as much as anybody. Like, even the guys, you know this too, like when it was 4-0 in game one for LA, when they showed Draisaitl mad on the bench, I'm like, oh no, it's like Hulk Hogan. It's like, he's mad. Look out. You know when Hulk does that thing when he kicks him and it doesn't matter? That's Leon Draisaitl when he's mad. And they score that goal for the end of the second period, and I'm like, here they come. And then I wake up the next morning, I'm like, what? 6-5. Even the Oilers series, far from over. And St. Louis just showed that last night. You may lose game 1 and 2 on the road, but if you come home and you win that third game, it changes the whole narrative all over again.
Yeah, well, I thought I saw most of the first period, and then you got life stuff, and then by the time I turned it on again, it was 6-2. But like the Jets did not touch the puck in the first period.
No,
basically.
Yeah, you give up those 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, 11 seconds, and St. Louis is running you out of the building. Like, they were not. It's amazing how the physicality, they weren't any different in game 3 in terms of physicality than they were in games 1 and 2. Just Winnipeg dealt with it better. And then when you're down 2-0 on the other team's building, it's hard to get yourself out of that hole. And you're right. Like, it was an execution basically in the first period. St. Louis meant business. The Jets were not ready for it. And there's no stats to back this up, but I've seen many a road trip where the Jets on the first game of the road trip, you always talk about the first game back home. The first game of a road trip, I can pretty much tell you Winnipeg has not played their best hockey. And I'm not saying that carries over to into the playoffs from the regular season, but they did not look prepared last night at all for what was coming at them. And they made mistakes they don't ordinarily make. And, a lot of the communication, look, even the goal that Helly gives up there, it's 3-1 and he goes behind his net and he looks up like he's moving that puck 99% of the time. I don't even know what he was doing that one, but you give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been so good moving the puck. We had Mike Rupp on our pregame show, and he's talking about how Helly doesn't play the puck very well. I'm like, well, you haven't watched a lot of the games this year because he's become a lot better at it. For maybe 3 years ago, he was absolutely terrible. But you go into further discussion with him, you talk with Wade Flaherty, it's all about communication. There was no communication on that fourth goal. There was no one telling Helly that somebody's coming, that Thomas is coming behind him to knock the puck off his stick. That can't happen. So everything that could have went wrong for them last night went wrong. And, the best part of it is you just they have 2 days to think about it. And they play at noon on Sunday. And I guarantee you they'll be a lot better than the first period they were on last night.
Jamie Thomas from the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. Ground Control joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. I mean, I clearly the Oilers game, they're on late for you, but I know you've seen a lot of this, like a lot of the discussion that Jay and I have had is pick an area of hockey, whether you just want to say offense and defense or whether you want to break those down into 40 subcategories. In my mind, the Oilers don't have a check mark in any category, which makes a 2-0 deficit a little more concerning than other 2-0 deficits. But you're also a little bit detached from it. Like, how far is the gap in your mind? Like, is this an attainable comeback for the Oilers here?
Well, you can't keep putting yourself in a hole all the time, right? It's just it's great that you have 2 of the best players in the world to pull you out of those things, but you fall behind. You can't keep leaning on those guys. Like, just to look at them and stare at them and go, okay, get us out of trouble again. How many times you got to go to the well? Like, how many mulligans do you need? The rest of the Oilers. And you listen. I don't want to speak for them, but you can tell the frustration on the faces of 97 and 29. It's the body language is all there. But the defensive breakdowns, people can rip Stuart Skinner all they want, but the defensive breakdowns, the guy that second wave coming in all the time, they're not defending that. So it's just like, if you don't defend the second wave, and LA is always activating their defense all the time, like every other team in the NHL right now, you always have second, third waves coming. If you're not picking that up, you're asking your goaltender to do things that are not fair. So just watching Edmonton do that and just expect 97-29 to pull them to the fight night over night is not sustainable, period. They could probably do it on home ice, but I would like to think this team, like the Jets, can find a way to defend a lot better than they have. The Jets through one game from game 3, but Oilers, I watched that 6-2 game. And it was just breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. And it's always blame the goaltender all the time. We need a save from him. Okay, but how about you defend for him and then get the save? It's just simple defense 101. But I know it's easier said than done. LA is not LA's on you all the time, very much like St. Louis is on you. We'll see how the story changes here tonight with last change and maybe the momentum from the home crowd.
Jamie Thomas joining us from the Ground Control podcast. Jamie, there's been a lot of discussion about the use of Connor McDavid on the Oilers penalty kill.
Right.
And,
oh my gosh.
I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, that's just as bad as it gets in our opinion anyways. I mean, what are your thoughts on that from an out of market perspective to say that this team is, and Reid said it earlier, is frankly so desperate that they have to put their best player on the ice for a penalty kill. Right.
And listen, the Jets do that with Kyle Connor. And the argument flies, what if he blocks a shot and breaks his ankle? Who understands power plays the best? The guys that are on the power play. So, and all it takes is one deflected puck, and that guy's speed changes a lot of things. It is hard to deal with. It is terrifying to watch. So I like it. I mean, if you're looking for offense, if you're looking for, it makes the guys on the power play think, where is 97? Instead of trying to think of what they're trying to move the puck around. Where is he? He's around here somewhere. That is an added element that not a lot of teams can throw at you. So it's worked fine for the Jets this year with Kyle Connor. Trust me, their penalty kill is a lot better than we've seen outside of seems like every period there's a power play goal going in for the Blues, but I am totally fine with it. And I know you'll argue that if he blocks a shot and he's out for the series, but those are the things you have to do to try and turn momentum in some ways. I am 100% fine. And I'm sure Connor McDavid is fine. If he didn't want to be out there, he wouldn't be out there, period. That's all there is to it. So everybody wants to look at a problem somewhere and blame something when things aren't going well. That is not the Oilers' problem right now.
Yeah, well, the PK's the problem. I honestly, I take the different side of it. I'm not a fan of it unless they're down in the third period.
Right.
Just because I don't think he's a good penalty killer. Like I look at it as if I'm LA, and I understand. Like you made a good point. Nobody understands power plays better than the guys who are on it. But also, if I'm LA, I'd be almost snickering. Like seriously, they think this is their only way to beat us. They got to put him on the power play because we're kicking their ass so bad in every other area of the game. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, but I do understand what you're saying. Okay, as always, we love having you on. We'll bug you again.
I want to do a whole interview with Jamie as that nerd voice that he came up with there. That was something spectacular. I felt like I was listening to an episode of The Simpsons. So,
Professor Frink.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Yes, from The Simpsons. Yes, that's where it comes from. I have one question. Does Gazzola pay for airtime on your guys' show? Like when you advertise he's coming up, does he pay for you, or does he just like show up?
Gazzola works here.
Gazzola is part of the family.
I know he works there, but you have to pay to be advertised on other people's shows. Like Gazzola, if I'm going to talk about you, I want some money. That's how this business works.
That's great.
Jamie, we are looking for an agent.
Yes,
so, you know that.
Like you guys are in prime time, and Gazzola's just coming riding the waves here.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Tell him I said that.
We will.
We will. He's probably listening. He'll post something in our chat. Hey, have a great weekend.
Gazzola, best hair in the business. That's all there is to it. So,
have a great weekend. Sunday at noon. Yeah, this is a weird schedule, right? Sunday at noon. So we'll check that out. Jets and Blues. Really appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
As Jamie Thomas from Ground Control, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. Love talking to him. Good perspective on that game last night. Blues really cranked it up. Well, that is what the Edmonton Oilers need to do this evening against the Los Angeles Kings. Should we give the third clue?
Yes.
We want to give the third clue. Okay. Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You must text in your guesses It's the only way to win. To the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. The third clue is miracle. Okay? So the clues are Nordiques, Kings, miracle. I predict somebody will get it now, and the fourth clue will not be necessary, Jay. That is my prediction.
Yeah, this is where I think it gets going here. Yeah, I think it'll be done. We did have a limerick come in from a friend of the show, Seal.
Oh, good. I still have a few to get to, too.
Yeah, I have a few more as well. For the Oil, Game 1 was close. Game 2, that's the way she goes. Back home tonight, a comeback's in sight. Sweet as a kiss from a rose.
Oh, there we go.
Well done, Seal. Well
Seal
done.
is a genius. There's no other way to put
Seal's
that.
barking.
All right, we still got our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games. Hernan Salas is going to join us. It's an extended edition. We're with you until 6:30, and then we go into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Let's get to 200 thumbs on YouTube. By the time we get back, we need 10 more.
Let's go.
So get in there and click away. Send the link to people that you love or hate to click as well. We're with you until 6:30. A break, and then the Koob.
The EST Hangout.
To me, where they got spooked the most, and it had a massive ripple effect throughout the entire NHL officials community, was that St. Louis-San Jose series, the hand pass for the goal that wasn't reviewed and was allowed. They have not been the same since then. They were okay back then. Now they're just terrible across the board.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
With the Oilers down 2-0 in the series, Calvin Pickard gets a start in Game 3 against LA. Join Tom Gazzola live at the Canadian Ice House for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as him and Hernan Salas tee up the action at 6:30 right here on EST. In Montreal, Patrick Laine has been ruled out for the Habs tonight. Game 3 against Washington due to an upper body injury. Montreal down 2-0 in the series, while New Jersey looks for their first win over Carolina in Game 3. Basketball sees a trio of Game 3s. The Celtics look to go up 3-0 on the Magic. The Bucks trail 2-0 to the Pacers, while the Lakers and Timberwolves clash with the series tied at 1 apiece. Meanwhile, John Morant of the Grizzlies is out for Game 4 against the Thunder with a hip injury. OKC looking for the sweep tomorrow. Baseball has Toronto visiting New York to challenge the Yankees in the opener of a 3-game series. 2 games are live right now, including the Cubs holding the Phillies 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. You're locked and loaded here on the Reid Wilkins Show.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
Oh, my goodness. There's the Thumb Clicks. What do we call it? The Thumb Click Remix. Yes. That's put together by Zachary Kubusch. As another pretty good day with the Thumbs. Oilers playoff game day. Hopefully many more to come. Well, that's all I'll say. Hopefully many more to come. We need 6 thumbs to get to 200, and then we'll keep pushing for 255 in the final hour and a half of the show. We're with you until 6:30, an extended edition here as the Oilers play the Kings at 8 o'clock tonight at Rogers Place. Calvin Pickard's going to be your goaltender. The Kings have been in control in this series. I know the Oilers they made it very interesting in game 1. Let's face it, even though they lost, they made it semi-interesting, I guess, with that Arvidsson goal in game 2. But the Kings have been the better team in every area. Here's McDavid on the Kings.
That's the game they play. They play a stingy game. Wait for you to make your mistake, or obviously they're capitalizing a lot on the power play as well. So give them that. Should eliminate a lot of the things that we've given them. So a lot of it's on us. We got to figure out a way to not make the big mistake, I guess.
Well, that's what the Oilers are focusing on, right? I mean, that's been a lot of the dialogue over the last couple of days is don't beat ourselves, which I do think is an element to it. But you got to figure out a way to kill a penalty. You got to figure out a way to execute on the power play. You'd like another big stop or two along the way from your goaltender, which is going to be Pickard tonight. So the Oilers have a lot of things to figure out. Calvin Pickard was asked about his relationship with Stuart Skinner.
He supports me. I support him. We've kind of gone back and forth for a lot of the year. Obviously, with him getting hurt, I played a little bit more. But he's been great for me when I'm in net, especially last year as well in the playoffs. He's there. He's my second set of eyes from the bench, and I can bounce things off him, and the same thing when he's in net. So it's been really good.
Okay, what's happened here? Did you get kicked out of the ESTV?
Yes.
Can you get back in?
Yes.
We'd like hockey on.
Yes.
You're getting it. Don't worry about being a host right now. You need to be a TV fixer.
Well, I struggle with that on the best of days anyways, Reid. So, yes, let's go ahead.
So this
Carry
is
on.
Like TVs now, it's not really cable anymore, is it? It's just another form of the internet.
Well, there's no cable to that to provide it TV.
Yeah, it's all coming. Is it from what do they call it? The ghost? The cloud?
Yeah, the clouds.
Clouds. It's all coming out of the clouds. So can you get us on the channel to watch hockey today?
Well, I'm supposed to be now.
Yeah, usually just was on.
I did the things.
You did all the proper things, and it's not letting us watch TV. Okay.
Oh, sign in successful. Start watching.
Start watching. Click it. Click the button, Jablonski. I don't want to miss the opening face-off.
The Oilers getting absolutely torched on the PK. Here's Darnell Nurse.
For us, we just have to have confidence as a kill. I think, they've obviously had the upper hand in special teams, and especially when their power play's been out there. For us, we got to, go out there and have confidence and play free and have a little more instinct to our game and go out there, and that's when we're killing at our best. So, when you get scored on a few times, it's easy to clamp up and go out there and maybe not play it with as much instinct. And for us, we just got to bring that back out.
All right, that is Darnell Nurse. Before we get to our Play More Tables and Games game of the night, Jeff in YYZ providing us with not one but 2 limericks this afternoon.
Wow.
Here we go. Oilers play tonight in their home digs with defense so strong, not like twigs. With tough performance inside, they get their game back on side like an anaconda taking down pigs. Pretty
Very
good.
good. Very
I would
good.
say lines 3 and 4 could be tightened up just a bit.
Yes.
But working in do we have the Dave Jamieson clip? Do we know where that is? Like an anaconda taking down a pig, working that in.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Very,
I like
very
that.
Good.
I
very,
like
very
that.
Good.
Yes.
And
bonus points.
And I'll do his second one as well. The bookbinder relaxes at home reading his Edmonton sports history tome. He bound authors all like Phillips and Hall. So many great stories he let roam.
Wow.
That's really good.
Very good.
I'm getting a phone call.
You want to take it live, bro?
Well, no, I don't.
Who is it?
It's a number that I don't have in my contacts. I'm not taking that.
Come on, live a little.
Well, no, because they won't be able to hear what the person is saying.
Oh yeah, put it on speakerphone.
Or it'll be
maybe it's a scam call.
What's the one? Like your passport's expired and you're going to get arrested if you don't renew it or something?
This is CRA. Yes, you owe us.
You owe us a lot of money. Just give us your credit card and we can charge it.
We'll remedy it. I need you to pay me in Bitcoin or Apple Music gift cards.
Yeah.
I don't have Apple Music. I only have Subway gift cards. I'll take those.
We'll take them. That'll cover it. Yeah. That's awful. Those scammers are awful.
Yeah, we'll have a summer show dedicated to them. Maybe we'll have a summer show where we just call them.
We should lure them here and then just sit there. We can just have them
and we'll lock them in the back room here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And ration them food and 6 o'clock loggers.
No, they would like that.
How do you know? Maybe they don't like to have beer.
They don't like to have a good time.
We'll force it down their throats.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Oh, my. That was unexpected. Okay. Darnell Nurse on Pickard being a net.
Obviously, the amount of work he's put in and the games that he's stepped up and had huge moments for us. Whether it was early on the season, down the stretch, he's really been a bright spot for our team all year long. And we have a lot of confidence playing in front of him and his compete and what he brings to our group.
So Pickard, the goaltender, the Oilers' defense, I will read in alphabetical order because I think the pairings will rotate. Now I got to do alphabetical order on the fly. Bouchard, Emberson, Klingberg, Kulak, Nurse, Wallman. Klingberg and Bouchard were taking reps together at the morning skate. Knoblauch was asked about that.
I wouldn't look too much into that.
Okay. Up front, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman is a line. Nugent Hopkins remaining at center. We talked about yesterday, maybe time to move him to the wing. Doesn't appear to be happening. Nugent Hopkins with Bud Colson and Arvidsson. Henrique with Kane and Brown. And Janmark with Frederick and Perry. So it's the same players who played the last game, except switching the starting goaltender, and the lines get moved around. But Jeff Skinner remains out. We haven't seen Jones, nor Ryan, nor Kapanen in this series. All right, time to take a look at our Play More Tables and Games Game of the Night.
Play more tables and games.
From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room Experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary or online at playmoregames.ca. Well, I got to go hockey, Jay. Of course, the Oilers won, but we're picking other ones as well. Canadians home game. Haven't had a home game in Montreal, I guess, since Game 4 of the Cup final in 2021 when they beat Tampa Bay in overtime, if I remember correctly. They're back on home ice against the Capitals. Caps are up 2-0. The Canadians, do play with spirit. We had Marty Baron on the show yesterday saying, that maybe they aren't quite there. And didn't he kind of say they need more out of Lane Hudson, who's a super rookie?
He did,
but
yeah,
but anyway. Looks like a good environment there at Le Centre Bell. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, close enough.
Close enough.
It looks electric.
Yeah, and I'm sure Montreal will be energized. They need a win on home ice, much like the Oilers need a win tonight. So I got to go with Capitals Canadians for my game of the night.
Well, I'm going to go to the NBA. Well, first I'm going to cross into the NFL draft a bit here because it's now underway. The Shedeur Sanders watch. I can't believe how much attention this guy gets, but here I am talking about him. I'm talking about him out of spite because I don't think he's that good. I don't even know if he would.
Why are we talking about him then?
Because everybody down there is talking about him.
Well, we don't have to. We have a playoff game in our city.
I don't even know if Shedeur Sanders could start for a CFL team. And here he's projected to go. When is he going? Where is he going? I don't know. But my game of the night. I think it's going to be a great basketball game that tips off at 7:30. The Lakers are going to Minnesota. That series tied at 1. I like how Minnesota's been playing. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle is playing like he's 10 years younger. So I just want to see the Lakers lose. So that's it. I mean, both my topics were completely spite filled.
Jeez.
So there you go.
All right.
Shedeur Sanders has not been taken yet. Cleveland.
Where are we in the draft?
Round 2, pick 2.
Oh, so it just started.
Just started.
And this is Dion's kid. That's the only thing. I watched him play this season, but I wasn't really processing that I was watching him play. The Chaos Jester in the nasty chat. Chaos Jester, give us a thumbs up. Bouchard is like half a D-man, half a werewolf, a quarter wolf D-man.
Well,
Bouchard
is like a half D-man.
That's one way to look at it.
He's werewolf.
Half a D-man, half a werewolf. And then I guess, so he's a quarter D-man and a quarter werewolf. So then I guess he's a quarter wolf D-man.
I'm confused about that.
I think that was the point of the post.
Yeah. Good job, Chaos Jester. You're in my kitchen.
Carl says, who cares about Sanders? He couldn't even make the Baltimore Stallions. Jeremy in SWP. Did we have to determine what SWP stands for?
Sherwood Park.
Oh, that's Sherwood Park. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be.
My hometown, bro.
He says, that's an asinine lineup from a coach who lost his way. Having Frederick in over Skinner is an absolute joke. I don't want to hear anything about who kills penalties because they are all terrible at it. Well, that's a blunt and honest and to the point message.
Presently, they are terrible at it, yes.
Presently, yes, they're killing half their penalties. That's pretty bad. I just wouldn't put McDavid on the penalty kill, quite frankly. I'd say the guys who've been killing penalties have to figure it out.
Well, that means certainly McDavid's going to score a shorthanded goal tonight, Reid.
Well, that's fine. As hopefully people realize I'm comfortable being wrong in a job like this because it's going to happen a lot. And sometimes you'll get asked questions that you weren't even thinking about being asked, and you got to have an answer. I guess my question to Jeremy is, if you're calling it an asinine lineup, I assume you dislike more than Frederick in over Skinner. So what else don't you like? I mean, quite frankly, I don't like Nugent Hopkins as center, as even though he looked quite proficient at center at times this season. He has not had a good series. The Kings are strong down the middle. Now, so I think again, and who knows? I mean, look, they're not playing well enough. I think, regardless of the line combinations, I would have put McDavid, Nugent, Hyman, and to me, then you're saying, okay, you guys were maybe the best line in the NHL most of last season. Go do it. Okay, go do it. I'm trusting you guys. Then I would have put Kane with Draisaitl and probably Arvidsson just because he skates better than Perry. And he did score.
Nuge has been a complete non-factor, right? So that was also behind a lot of this, reasoning to move him back up to the first line.
Right.
Was to say, okay, go up there with McDavid and Hyman, get back into your comfort zone. Maybe that will spark something. Right? But it to me, these lines say that, no, we're good enough. The same lineup as last game. Pretty much. That means the coaching staff feels this team is good enough to beat the LA Kings as they sit.
Well, to me, like this is what we said before. McDavid and Draisaitl together is a beautiful thing. Like there's no doubt about it. Like they're awesome together. Maybe not entirely in this series, but I think generally, okay? But they are even better together if you have at least two other lines that are effective, because then you're just wearing teams down. Then, of course, McDavid and Draisaitl are going to be the focus of any opponent, but it'd be nice if you could say, oh my God, like it's McDavid and Draisaitl, and then, man, Nuge is playing well, and Arvidsson's all over me all the time, and Kane's going to come hit me. But again, really, I think for the Kings is survive the third of the game that McDavid and Draisaitl are on the ice. Just survive it. Because you can look at this and say, like, okay, here, if I'm Jim Hiller, who I think you noted yesterday off air, doesn't have any shortage of confidence in his abilities.
No, quite confident.
Here's how I would look at the line after the first line. Nugent Hopkins, not dynamic. Podkolzin, not a threat. Arvidsson, inconsistent. Kane, maybe. Be careful when he's on the ice. Brown, unnoticeable. Henrique, intelligent but not quick. Frederick, apparently injured. Perry and Janmark still pains in the ass, quite frankly, in this series. I know a lot of people hate Janmark. I kind of admire the way he plays, quite frankly. personal thing.
Reid, I just refreshed the River Cree inbox, and we have several winners.
Oh, we can only have one.
But there can be only one for this. So, do you want to do this now, or do you want to do it right after the?
I want to do it now because we got Hernan coming up.
The winner was William Mike Spear.
Okay, good. Our poet laureate.
Yes, poet laureate for the Reid Wilkins show.
All right, the clues.
And other people did get it, but
See?
William Mike Spear got it first.
Capitals just scored. Bummer. 3:20 into the game. The clues. First clue was Nordiques. This person was drafted by the WHA Nordiques in 1974. Second clue was Kings. He spent his entire NHL career with the Los Angeles Kings. Third clue was Miracle. He played in the Miracle on Manchester game between the Oilers and Kings on April 10th, 1982. The fourth clue, goaltender. He was the goaltender in that game. Mario Lessard.
There you go.
Who woke up this morning and thought you would hear the name Mario Lessard?
Not I.
Yeah.
And I feel better now that I have heard it.
You know who the Kings backup in that game was?
I do not.
Doug Keynes.
Oh, who could forget?
He actually played 5 seconds in that game. I'm not sure the circumstances of that. So Mario Lessard is the mystery athlete of the game. And William Mike Spear gets a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Mario Lessard. The goaltending matchup tonight is Pickard against Kemper. Quite frankly, I'll say this again. I don't think there's been a good goaltending performance in this series.
You're right. I don't know how you could suggest otherwise.
I guess you say Kemper's been the best goalie in the series because he's 2-0.
That's the only thing
I would not say he's let in an entirely stinky goal, but I think some of the shots he let in could be questioned, just like some of the ones that I don't think the Oilers are busy enough in front of him. I don't think they're testing him enough.
Exactly.
If he comes out and plays better and steals a game, I'll give him credit for doing that. I'm not going to do it in advance. Pardon me if I'm just a stubborn old booger head.
Wouldn't that be just something if they could just turn that Kemper upside down, chase him out of the net,
torch him,
right?
It would be great.
It would be great. I think that would change a lot in this series if the Oilers can come out and run him out of the net. Like they did Bobrovsky, right?
They did that in Game 4.
Yeah.
Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. They got 5 goals in about the first 25 minutes of the game, and he got pulled. And replaced by, do you remember?
No.
Anthony Stolarz.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Who might win the Cup with the Leafs this season.
Don't say that.
Well, the Leafs are good. Like, why are we not acknowledging the Leafs are good? Like, people don't like me pointing out what I think is the obvious, that the Leafs are an excellent team. Like, I just, like, there's people are so afraid that Toronto's going to be successful. I get it. I was texting with a buddy who lives in Toronto. Who's from oil country, who said, yeah, it's going to be bad if it happens. The Big Uke with a limerick. Game 3, finally on home ice, scoring goal number 1. Oh, that'd be nice. Nasties on ice house, not quiet like a mouse. Libations tonight, I think I'll have 2 thrice.
Well,
that's 6. All right, Hernan is here, isn't he?
He's here.
He's going to come in. We're with you until 6:30. Keep clicking away at that thumbs up on YouTube.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
We need about 40 more to get to our ultimate goal of 255. We're at 213, so that's a great show for thumbs, but playoff game day, Friday, going into the weekend. You know, if you're talking about what can you do to help the Oilers, maybe that positive voodoo, mojo, what am I saying?
Mojo.
Yeah.
Mojo.
Would help, given all those thumbs.
It's what Austin Powers
keep clicking
lost.
away. Hernan Salas next in studio.
The Oilers-Kings series goes to Edmonton for Game 3. Calvin Pickard is a starter tonight, with the Oilers trailing 2-0 in the series. Swing by the Canadian Ice House to join Tom Gazzola live on location for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. He'll be at the Canadian Ice House alongside Hernan Salas. Tune in at 6:30 only on ESPN. Game 3 is underway between Washington and Montreal. Connor McMichael with his third of the postseason has the Caps up 1-0, about 5 minutes in. Habs down 2-0 in the series. And some big matchups in the NBA. Boston is up 10-7 against Orlando early in the contest. Boston leading 2-0 in the series. Later, Indiana is on the road in Milwaukee for Game 3. The Pacers taking the first 2 games, while the Lakers and Timberwolves go at it. That series tied at 1 apiece. Round 2 of the NFL Draft is live. Cleveland selecting Quinshon Judkins with Vegas now on the clock. 3 games live in baseball has the Jays and Yankees runless in the bottom of the first inning. Hernan Salas joins Reid and Jaya on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
I believe this is what the Oilers are skating out to tonight. Yeah, forget about Enter Sandman. Or maybe this will be the background music for the pump-up video on the scoreboard. Koob, where do you find these?
The YouTube audio library every time, baby.
Well, the YouTube audio library, this song should be deleted. Whoa!
Wow, it's not that bad.
Well, for a sports show on a game day on a Friday afternoon with a massive game for the hometown team, that song needs to go.
This is the Reid Wilkins show, so I'm sorry, Koob. I've got to side with my co-host.
Yeah, we want to light a fire, not skip rocks or something. We have a special guest here at the Banquet Studio. Mondays at the Banquet, bowl for just $2 all day. Grab your friends, have fun, and start your week right. Get real, play hard. The Banquet. You get him on EST afternoons with Joaquin Gage from 1 to 3 every day. He's on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. He's my friend, Hernan Salas. Hey, Hernan. What's going on?
You know, just relaxing before the chaos that will be downtown Edmonton. It's Rogers going to be rocking. You guys will be there?
I'll be there, yeah.
Okay, no.
Nope.
No.
Now, do you have to stay here yourself tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
It's okay.
What are you going to do? You know, do you lounge out? Do you take over the whole couch?
Oh, yeah.
What? Yeah, you just.
I lounge out. Sometimes in the intermission, I'll play some video games. You know, but like it's playoff hockey, so I'm more like focused in the game.
Right.
Like game 79 against the Sharks, I'm probably not paying that much attention.
Sure.
Is that fair?
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's. I was very happy I missed those last 4 games. I saw a period in Mexico. It was 3-0 LA, and I said, "Why am I?"
Oh, that game, yeah, that was 5-0 LA. What were the last 4 games? They beat Winnipeg, they lost to LA,
and
they
Sharks.
beat San Jose. Oh, and the fourth last game they beat the Sharks.
The Sharks.
Yeah. Ancient history now for sure. All right, what do you think of going with Draisaitl and McDavid once again on the same line to start the game?
Yeah, it's such an interesting conversation because they're so great together, guys. Like we understand why every coach has gone to it, and every coach that comes will go to it because they're just unreal. But what concerns me, and we saw it last game, you don't get a lot from the other lines when this happens. So I'm hoping tonight is different. I do like you made a great point on the postgame show. Like, it's time for RNH to go to the wing. He's going to play with Arvidsson and Podkolzin. In fairness, when all the guys were out, that line was pretty good. So I'm hoping you get something out of that. The other two lines, I don't know. I mean, Fredericks, he's not healthy. Kane's playing his second game. Even though I didn't mind his first game, I just don't know what you're going to get. So unless this team gets 4 or 5 goals from that top line, well, seriously, that's what you're hoping for now. And if one line can step up and help, it's a bonus.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Even about game one, it wasn't the Oilers took over the third period. I don't even know if it was McDavid and Draisaitl taking over.
It was McDavid.
It was basically McDavid.
Yeah.
I mean, Draisaitl was still good, and I know he has 2 goals in this series, and McDavid didn't get a point last game. But yeah, that's the scary thing. What you just said. This is almost a lineup that says those 2 guys have to score like a goal a period. Like that line has to get a goal a period. Maybe we get another goal and we get to 4, and then maybe actually we don't screw up enough that we're not allowing 6.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like and anything you get from any of these other lines, a bonus in my eyes. Like Finn Reed can score. Holy smokes! Like that would be amazing. But for me, I think we all understand why they go to it, right? Because it's every time they're on the ice, guys, they create something.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They're rarely hemmed in. It's always something creative. So I think this is the way he's going to run it for the rest of this series, at least.
One of the challenges, though, I also think, and look, I've obviously really been praising the Kings a lot in this series because they're playing.
It's fair.
They're a good team playing great. Like there's not a lot of weaknesses in their game. And here's the thing: well, the Oilers can get a matchup at home. Now, but remember this, the LA Kings basically don't use their 4th line.
Yeah.
So even if Draisaitl and McDavid are out together, they're going to be out against a line that's either centered by Kopitar, Danault, or Byfield.
Yeah. That's the challenge.
Like some teams you can exploit the 3rd line. Some teams you could even exploit the 2nd line. Okay, so the worst center, judging by the Kings depth chart, is Byfield.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's and you know what? Like, because we got a bunch of texts in our show saying like the Oilers are losing the series. It's nothing to do with LA. I'm glad you've brought it up every opportunity you can. We have to give credit to LA. They're playing. There's a reason the Oilers are playing bad. It's LA, right? Like, yeah, you can look at Bouchard's two turnovers in the first game, guys, and be like, sure. I mean, that's just bad play by Bouchard. But a lot of it is because the LA Kings are playing really good. You got to give them credit. I know it's hard for Oiler fans, but they're the better team. They deserve to be up 2-0.
Hernan Salas joining us in studio. The ESTV is failing us. Canadians Capitals game has disappeared. Jay, do you need to just go over there and hit the TV like Fonzie?
Reid, you have no idea.
You're not watching Yankees Blue Jays, guys?
Hernan,
in April?
Not right now, okay?
I'll watch Blue Jays. We'll have Blue Jays on after the... Or when we get into the conference finals where there's not a game every day.
Hernan, you came on your show, EST Afternoons, with yourself and Joaquin Gage, and you declared something right off the hop.
I did.
You guaranteed an Oilers win. Now, that's great, but what makes you think, from what you've seen in games 1 and 2, and this proposed lineup that you now are clearly familiar with, what makes you think that there's going to be a change?
That's a good question. I just think they're going to thrive off the crowd. I think they're going to score early. I think they're going to have 2, probably in the first 10, 11 minutes. And I think they're going to ride that to a victory. I think Pickard gives them... This is weird for me to say, but I think Pickard gives them better goaltending. He's showing it for the most of the last 3 months of the season. I think they're going to be a lot more steady. The special teams concerns me. But, guys, I'll be honest. I'm guaranteeing a win. The Oilers, can they be worse than they were in the first 2 games? Sure. But this is a team that like they've been through it all, guys. Like I can't imagine they're sitting there saying, "Oh, guys, if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll be fine." No, like I feel like there's going to be an energy, there's going to be a will to play great hockey tonight. And Jay, I'm just saying one game. I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but I think tonight the Oilers are going to show up and they're going to run the Kings out of the barn. I think it's going to be a big win for the Oilers.
Well, and if that happens, Hernan, then I would be confident in saying that this series is going to go a lot longer.
Oh yeah,
because if they can be successful tonight, that means they've found a way to get net front presence. They've found the way to do the small things.
Yeah,
get to Kemper and challenge him.
Yeah,
I mean, Reid's been talking about it all week. Darcy Kemper has hardly been challenged in this series,
but it's true. Like, did you say it on your show yesterday? Like, can you name like a big save he made in game 2? Did he make a big save outside of one, maybe?
Well, and have the Kings committed an error that has put the puck in the back of their net?
The Kings wounded themselves. I mean, it's not perfect.
No.
And even when they couldn't do anything in the third, that was mostly McDavid just flexing. I mean, has a King fumbled a puck? Has an LA King thrown a puck blindly up the middle?
No.
They got intercepted by an Oiler?
No,
No,
the Kings
they're committed.
Yeah, the Kings are playing some great hockey. I like their decor. I think like Gavrikov, he made a brilliant play last game against Hyman. I think they're and LA smells blood, man.
But they do. So here's the other thing too. The other side to that, and although I appreciate your confidence, is you could say, okay, has LA had any self-inflicted wounds? But for the Oilers, that's been the majority of what the series has been about.
Yeah.
So how can they turn that tap off of self-inflicted wounds?
That's a good. Oh man, I'm sure Knoblauch's sitting there right now thinking the same thing. Like, how do I get these guys to stop making such stupid plays? Like, I mean, even Darnell struggled a bit here, right? And he's brilliant most of the season, right? Because I feel like Darnell again is getting into that mode where he's trying to do too much, and when he does that, he gets into trouble. That's a great question, Jay. Like, how do you tell Bouchard, hey man, stop throwing the puck up the middle when there's no play there, right? But an offensive defenseman's always going to look for that, right? So, man, I just can't imagine the Oilers having 3 stinkers in a row. I just can't. And is it going to be perfect tonight, guys? Probably not. Are we going to see some turnovers by the Oilers? Probably. But again, can Pickard make that save when needed? And can they kill a penalty?
Yeah.
Can they produce themselves on the power play? Like it's not one thing. That's why it's a little concerning because it's all these little things everywhere surrounding the Oilers game. But and Reid, you've covered this team for years. Like I just can't see them playing 3 bad playoff games. I can't. Is it possible? 100%. But
well, I know, and look, I like somebody put in the chat. Well, Henrique is too slow. Like fair enough. But I do think they can play a more committed defensive style of hockey.
Yeah.
And we saw that when they went 22-6-1. We even saw it at times down the stretch when they were beat up and didn't have McDavid or Draisaitl. 5 guys were back. You know, what do they call it? The 5 on a die in front of your own net. Everybody's condensed. Like Rob Brown always used to say, protect your house.
Yeah.
Like if you were lost in your own zone, skate towards your own net.
Yeah.
You know, get in the way. So I think they can do that. And what have I said about the Kings? It's times it looks like they have 7 guys on the ice in their own end. Why? Because they're hustling back, they're not gambling, and they're getting in the middle of the ice. I know the Oilers are capable of that.
Yes.
You know, so if they try to keep it a little bit more low event and a little safer, then you don't have to be impatient. Then hopefully McDavid doesn't think he has to fly the zone every time there's even a chance that he can get a breakaway. All that kind of stuff.
And Knoblauch alluded to that yesterday, I think, before they got on the plane back to Edmonton. He goes, they're making us be impatient.
Right.
Like, we're not remaining patient because of the way the game's going, right? So we have guys cheating. We have guys trying to do too much. So they got to remain patient. And I know this is a stupid thing to say, but every team wants to score the first goal. But I think in this case for the Oilers, like, it's even bigger.
It's imperative.
Yes, because LA is so good with the lead.
Well, and then I think, part of this is that LA's been controlling and dictating the style of play. If the Oilers can get on them early, then they can turn the tables on that. Yeah. And then they can control and say what style of play is going to be happening. And unfortunately, they've been playing from behind and being forced, like you said, to make mistakes and overcompensate, right? Which leaves them shorthanded in some situations.
That's the key there. They got to remain patient.
And it's not like you're out hustled or outworked. You're just outsmarted. You're being outplayed.
That's the thing. Don't work harder, work smarter.
Yeah.
You can't go up there and think, I'm going to skate 5% faster.
Yeah.
Be in the right spot.
Because a lot of fans are like, it looks like they're not, like, they're obviously trying. Like, these guys are not out there giving it 80%. Like, they're all out there working their butts off, trying to do things. But like you said, LA just looks a step ahead every time. And in that, the Oilers are becoming impatient and trying to cheat a little, and it's costing them. So you know what? I think the crowd, though, they're going to feed off that. If the Oilers are not shot out of a cannon tonight, boys, in the first 10 minutes, I will be concerned. Like, they should be.
Yeah.
It doesn't, just because the crowd's ruckus doesn't mean you're going to automatically score and be in the lead, but they should feed off that, and they need it, man. It's tough.
Take some initiative. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. You got to give Hernan the thumbs up. We need 35 thumbs to get to 255.
Let's
and
go.
We're still with you for another about 45 minutes. We're going to go till 6:25, and then Hernan, he does all the hard work here. Plus, he's on air. He's going to get the stream going. Tom's going to put his hairdo on from the ice house. So keep clicking that thumbs up button.
That's a great point. Would you say or suggest that Hernan might be the Swiss Army knife of EST?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, he can sit up here. He can sit back there where Koob is. I mean, look at the tan.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot.
I don't know how to do all the tech stuff.
Someone said I was a spray tan. This is natural.
No, you're not.
It's natural.
Because I'm peeling like crazy.
Show him your butt like you showed us earlier.
No, don't do it.
Not the time.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw Zachary the Future. Did you guys know the movie clip?
I didn't actually,
I did.
But I didn't know that one.
You
I've
knew
seen
Con
Con
Air,
Air, but
yeah.
I didn't remember
You
it.
didn't know that one?
No, it's been too long
okay.
since I've seen it.
I only
saw it once. I only saw it once.
I am not on Team Dustin. I think Nick Cage is like deplorable as an actor. He's cringy. He's so bad. It's good. Maybe
Nick Cage is great at mediocre movies.
Yeah, but Con Air has always been a up there for me. If it's one of those movies that you see it on the guide
and you leave it on.
You're like, all right.
Was Buscemi in that?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Was he one of the criminals.
He was the clip.
Oh, he was the clip.
He was the clip because
Who else was in it?
Vin
Malkovich,
Rames.
John Malkovich,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames. And then
John Cusack.
But is he the
He's the
cop or the FBI that's trying to find them?
What's the guy that Adam Scorgi did a documentary on?
Oh, Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo.
Oh, he's
yeah.
in that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's Dusty thinks I think it's one of his top 3 movies of all
I
time.
like that one, but that's about where it stops for me with Nick
Was that
Cage.
Michael Bay? Did he direct that one?
Probably.
Or Simon West. Simon West might have directed it, actually, now that I think about it.
Who
I don't know why I
directed
remember
Con
directors.
I think
Simon West. Well done, Reid.
But Michael Bay did The Rock, which Cage is in. The famous Connery line. You're bashed. Losers always whine about doing their bashed.
That's actually not a bad movie.
Oh, The Rock is good.
Yeah,
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
I can't say the rest of that Connery line because it has a naughty word. in it.
Spency 5 cents. He says Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus. That's John Malkovich.
Yeah.
He's actually
I like
really good.
Malkovich.
He's
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
And Cusack.
Cusack.
Yeah, he said Cusack.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. He's a legend. I love John Cusack.
Got a limerick here. I think this person might want to remain anonymous. I'll leave it anonymous just to be safe in case they don't want to be revealed. Skinner and Pickard under fire. That Joe Elliott ain't no liar. He's not foolin'. They need Habby Boolin. Playoff chances about to expire.
Ooh.
Wow, working in a Def Leppard song title and rhyming it with Habby Boolin. That is incredible.
I'm going to give Hernan a limerick to read. This is from Collingwood Rob, who was in earlier. We challenged him to a limerick.
Oh,
so,
right.
Hernan, this is your time to shine.
In a rink where the champions collide, the Oilers skated with pride. With a flick of their wrist, the Kings couldn't resist. In my parlay's thrilling ride.
Oh, jeez.
Very good.
That's a good one.
That's
well
that's
read,
so,
Hernan. Wow.
That's so creative.
Hernan, thanks for dropping in. I know you got to get ready for the show. You and Tom take over at 6:30. We need about 30 thumbs to get to 255. So keep clicking away. Send the link to people.
Are you going to be live at the Brewhouse? Ice House?
I'm doing my post-game hit. I'm doing Reid's Read for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. from the Ice House.
Nice.
I don't know if Tom's having me on pregame or not, but I'm probably go grab something to eat there.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'll do my hit live from there after the game.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be busy.
You're going to stick around and hit the dance floor after, Reid?
I'll probably do the Charleston. Yes. Is that what that's called?
You're going to just don't let Tommy...
Maybe, hey, you know what? You should look out for YouTube, Trev.
Because by then, be on the prowl?
By then, he'll be in full force.
He might not even know who you are.
That's a good point. By the way, if you're texting us this afternoon, 780-218-9999, the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Hernan, much appreciated.
Thank you, boys.
Here comes the Koob.
Calvin Pickard gets a start for the Oilers against the Kings in Game 3. LA up 2-0 in the series. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas get you set for the action with Gazzola live on location at the Canadian Ice House. Tune in at 6:30 only on EST. And two other games are on tap. Montreal hosting Washington. It's 1-0 Caps. Just about 2 minutes left in the first period. Canadians trailing 2-0 in the series before the Hurricanes and Devils face off in Game 3. Carolina winning the first two at home. And on the court, the Celtics are down by 3 points to the Magic nearing the end of the first quarter. Boston up 2-0 in the series before the Lakers look to take a 2-1 series lead against the T-Wolves in Game 3. And Milwaukee looks to find a win as they're down 2-0 against the Packers. And the Bears with the most recent pick in the NFL draft, Luther Burden III, going with the 7th pick in the second round as the Saints are now on the clock. In baseball, 3 games are live. The Yankees and the Jays are runless in the bottom of the third. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them 780-988-1717. More with Reid and Jay once we get back. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
This is the song.
clicked one, Reid. I'm sorry.
This is the song that we're playing. Okay. Well, my goodness. Save that one for July 12th. Okay? Not playoff game day. That's all right. How you doing, everybody? Yes, we're counting you down to the 8 o'clock face-off at Rogers Place. Oilers against the Kings. Last minute of the first period in Montreal. Capitals up 1-0 on the Canadiens, though the Canadiens are out shooting the Caps. Oh, they just scored. There we go. I think, who got it? Carrier got it, I believe. 52.8 seconds left in the first. Montreal pulls even 1-0 with Washington. Talk about a live update.
What would they say? Like something Le Boo?
Le Boo.
Le Boo!
Yeah. And what's he shoots these stores? Is it Il Lance, Il Compt or something like that?
I only took French in high school because I had to.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Your French is pretty good, though. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't even. I was trying to think of a witty answer to give you en français, but I can't.
The off-topic topic for William Huff. What are you doing today to help the Edmonton Oilers? It doesn't have to, like, we've talked about superstitions. It doesn't have to be a superstition. But what are you doing that you think might help or put some positive mojo in the world? You can help us by getting us to 255 thumbs on the YouTube stream. We're basically 20 away. So keep clicking away there. And it is an extended show. But Jay and I just talked about this, and we decided we'll change something up. So here's the thing. Dustin had the playoff song made for Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah.
So on the last 2 game days, when we've gone to 6:30, we've played it at 6:22 at the end of our show. It's to the tune of Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's called Let's Go Win the Stanley. It's really well done. So we want to play this because Dustin got it made. People put work into it. So we thought we don't want to not use it because it's up the product.
It's a banger.
It's a banger. So what we'll do is we'll move when we play it. So we're going to break at 6. Koob will do an update, and then we'll play the entire song.
It's
about
song.
2.5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and finish the show. So because we still want to get the whole thing in, but we're going to move where we play it.
Yeah.
Because we know if we end the show with it again, and the Oilers lose again, people are going to say, you keep playing it at the end of your show.
It's your fault.
And they keep losing.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. So that's the one little thing we'll do.
That's what we're doing.
We'll change our routine a little bit.
Wow.
The Oilers are changing their starting goaltender tonight. It will be Calvin Pickard. Could I get this turned up?
Same way I've approached every game as an Oiler. Go out and do my job and give our team a chance to win. Obviously, first 2 games didn't go as planned, basically in all facets, but we know we got a better effort in this locker room, and we're definitely going to do that tonight.
Pickard made 2 starts in last year's playoffs, game 4 at home in the second round against Vancouver. The Oilers won that game. Remember, Vancouver got a couple goals in the third period to tie it, including one with the goalie on the bench, and then Bouchard won it with a wrister from the high slot in the final minute. And then in game 5 in Vancouver, the Oilers were badly outplayed, and Pickard was heroic to keep the Oilers in it, but JT Miller scored in the final minute. So another big start for him tonight. Here is Kris Knoblauch, head coach of the team, on Pickard.
Calvin's coming in and played some really big games for us, dating back to last year, not playing for a while, coming in the Vancouver series, playing really well. This year, you look at his record, especially since probably January 1st, how many games he's won. We felt that we're in a position we need to win a game, and we have a lot of confidence in him.
And here's McDavid on Pickard.
Yeah, he's played well all year. He's been solid for us, coming in at big moments, and did it last year in the playoffs as well. So obviously a guy we got a lot of faith in, and I expect him to play great tonight.
Oilers have been coming up short in a lot of areas so far in this season. Knoblauch on where they need to improve.
Get a little bit better in all areas. 5-on-5 a little bit. There's some things that we can do, and not giving up chances. And, generating a little more, getting a little hungry around the net, being able to make something out of maybe something that's not really there. And that's just through hard work, driving the net, stuff like that. But, and then also, you look around the playoffs, not only our series, but all of them, the biggest factor on winning and losing is usually special teams. And you look at our success last year that we had our run, our power play, our penalty kill were phenomenal.
Yes, anything but. Kings are 5 for 10 on the power play. Oilers are 0 for 5. Tells a big part of the story right there. All right, double word of the day, Jay. I mean, obviously, we've soared past the double word of the day mark of 155. We're actually pushing for 255 thumbs on YouTube. So let's do word of the day now, and then we'll get back into the more hockey stuff in the final half hour of the show.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Let's go, girls.
Okay, the first word of the day, Riedrich, is travail. Travail.
Yes, travail. Now I've correctly spelled 7 out of 8 words so far this week.
Yep,
pretty good. I think I know. Oh, do I know what this is?
Travail.
Travail. And I believe a travail is a difficulty that has to be overcome. Thank you. Well, I've had a good week overall.
You nailed it. Travail is a formal word usually used in plural that refers to a difficult experience or situation.
Women love. Fantastic.
Okay, well, hang on. If you get this and you go 4 for 4, then you play the whole Rolodex. That's how it works. Second word of the day, Ramos.
Oh, we're going right in.
Ramos.
Well, I do not know this word. So, Ramos. So let me just write down some possibilities here. That's the first thing that came to mind. Ramos.
This is an adjective.
Ramos. Ramos. Os. Ramos. It's an adjective. Ramos. It's probably like this. Man, oh man. What else could it be? It could be like that, I guess.
I wouldn't overthink it.
I wonder. I guess you're saying Ray. Okay, I won't overthink it then. I'll go with what I first wrote down. Ramos. No, that's wrong. It's a tuba guy. Remos?
Ooh, you suck.
Reimos? I don't know. Reymos. I don't know how to spell it. I've never heard this word before.
Ramose. Ramos.
Oh, I should have thought of that, having an E on the... Okay, so I had the A right.
Yes.
I left the E off the end. Ramos. I do not know this word. So it's an adjective. So moros means kind of to be sad and down. So I will guess that that's the opposite of this, that this is someone who feels buoyant and uplifted.
Ramos. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Just make sure you get that in.
Ramos is having many branches. So with almost a dozen immortal emperors jostling for position, high-level Inca society was characterized by Ramos' political intrigue of a scale that would have delighted the Medici? Medici?
Medici, I think,
Medici.
Yeah. All right, I did not know that word. So it means multi-branched, basically?
Yeah, it'd be like a big company has... different branches.
Sure, yes.
It's a Ramos setup at the Dunder Mifflin.
Right. Specifically. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I still went 8 for 10 spelling the words this week. And I think I got 5 or 6 of the definitions bang on. So I'll take that as a pretty good week.
I'm being told that I pronounced it incorrectly. Ramos.
Well, that wouldn't have helped me, but still.
Well, I'll just do this live. Hang on. I'll click on it.
Ramos. Okay, I still wouldn't have known it.
What did I say?
Ramos, I think.
Ramos? I said Ramos.
No, you said Ramos. You
Yeah.
might have emphasized it slightly differently than that, but that's I would not have known how to spell it.
Okay, so it didn't matter. It was a non-factor.
No, it was a non-factor. But those were good. Those are pretty good words. Okay, we're exactly 20 thumbs away. We're exactly 20 thumbs away from 255.
Well, and what's coming up next?
And we have the Koob, then we have the playoff song, and then we have our extended half hour to discuss the Oilers and the Kings coming up tonight. Or Habs game is in the intermission. Is that other game underway yet?
I'll find out. You know that.
I can check the scores on NHL.com. Well, Koob's going to let you know. Here we go.
Game 3, Oilers-Kings shakes down tonight. Calvin Pickard takes the crease with Edmonton down 2-0 to LA in the series. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas tee up the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Gazzola live on location at the Canadian Ice House for the show at 6:30. Elsewhere, the Caps and Habs are tied at 1 apiece entering the second period. Alexander Carrier scoring for Montreal, and Washington finds themselves looking to go up 3-0 in the series. And after that, the Hurricanes and Devils face off in Game 3. The Devils trailing 2-0. Basketball has 3 Game 3s. Boston down 33-27 to the Magic. Right now in the second quarter, the Celtics with both wins in the series before the Bucks and Pacers tip off Indiana up 2-0, while the Lakers and Timberwolves battle in a tied series. Round 2 of the NFL Draft is underway. Mason Taylor, the most recent pick to the Jets, with the 49ers on the clock in the second round. And in baseball, there's 4 games live, including the Jays and Yankees locked at zeros in the top of the 4th inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch. For your sports update, the Reid Wilkins Show rolls on.
Step inside Rogers Place. Play La Bamba, baby. Play La Bamba, baby.
We're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run. Looking to advance, going deep in the dance. Hop on the bandwagon, let's hear the fans. The fans.
Special place to play, honestly. So much history, these fans. It's great to hear their sport.
Wrestling in the dazzling every single night. Clubs coming up, baby, gonna be a fight. 6 games, 5 games, how about a sweep? Ticket prices, yeah, they're gonna be steep, yeah! Yeah! Come on! It's the playoffs! Crank it up! It's the playoffs! Take the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Ooh, gotta get the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Come on, lift it up! Let's go win the Stanley! Waited long enough, it's time, no more wait for the oil, it's the fate, yeah. Listen, first gear, second gear, third gear, go. McDavid 97, he's a one-man show. Dry saddle, Iverson, gotta love the nuge. Bush, Skinner, and Picks need to be huge. Be huge. Be huge. They gotta squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze a little more. Get the bottom 6 to find a way to score. One time, overtime, gotta find a way. Jam-packed moss pit going insane. Yeah! Yeah! Cheer a little more. It's the playoffs. Crank it up. It's the playoffs. Take the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Ooh, gotta get the cup. Let's go win the Stanley. Come on, lift it up.
Just beautiful. There it is. The playoff song. Let's go win the Stanley. Well, let's go win one game. That's the goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Just double check, Jay. 8:10 face-off. So no 8:22 or 8:17 or 8:37 or whatever. An 8:10 face-off. So a kind of normal time for an 8 o'clock game. It'll be coming up after the after the Capitals and the Canadiens on your Sportsnet stations. Capitals and Canadiens 1-1 first intermission. Hurricanes and Devils about to get underway. Hurricanes up 2-0. And then the Oilers game at 8. Pickard in goal. Top line, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. They will have to lead the way. Hopefully somebody else can chip in as the Oilers are trying to recover from two very tough losses in the first two games of the series in Los Angeles.
Can I ask you a question?
Please do.
We've had to ask this several times, not necessarily this exact question, but it's what would you prefer to have more? Because right now, this team is not giving Oilers fans much.
Right.
What would you prefer to have happen more? Would you prefer to have the other, say the second and third line chip in?
Yeah.
Or would you rather have the self-inflicted wounds slow down and or stop?
The wounds slow down.
Why?
Because then maybe you only need 2 or 3 goals to win a game.
Yeah. I asked the why, just because. I
get it.
I agree. Question. But, if you were to say, a key to a victory tonight for the Oilers, I would say that would have to be near the top of the list.
I would say special teams, number 1, both PK and, I'd say PK 1, power play 2, stop handing the Kings chances, number 3. Those are my 3 priorities. Then I would say get saves from your goalie when needed, though hopefully you're not taxing him as much. And then for number 5, I would say depth scoring.
Yeah. I mean, that just tells you how bad the power play and the penalty kill have been.
Yeah, terrible.
Awful.
But that, I think it starts with the special team. I mean, there's a lot of, I know, first goal, start the game well, stay out of the penalty box, kill off penalties when you do get them, apply pressure on the power play, start winning the special teams battle. To me, that's where it begins.
Do you think sorry.
The problem is there's more to it than that.
Of course. But yeah, it's
like if they'd lost the first 2 games 3-2, and the power play goals were 5-0, it'd be like, well, that's it. That's one thing.
Yeah. Do you think the Oilers can win in a shootout? Not a literal shootout.
No, I know what you mean. Yes, I still think they can do. I think the Oilers can win any type of game, but they have to give up fewer chances and they have to be better on special teams. Like, are you saying can they win a game 6-5?
Well, I think
they almost did.
I should have said, do you think they can win a close game? Because I think the only way they can win is if it is a shootout. The Kings are 43-0-2 this year when scoring 3 or more goals in a game,
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it shows you how good they've been defensively, though.
Well, and Nick Nixon the other day said that Kemper's only let in 3 or more goals 5 times the entire season.
Right.
So it's when the Kings score lots, they win. When Kemper lets in lots, they lose. Right?
And you're saying the Oilers can score a lot and still lose. That's why I think it's got to start with the defensive play.
Yeah, potentially they can.
With the goal prevention. I know we've talked a lot about, well, not just like I'm saying like everybody, people who write into the station as well. Okay, score first. Okay, well, that's great, but LA is not going to go away. Like, LA is not a fragile team. Now, I can see LA getting rattled. I can see LA feeling like maybe the Oilers felt for most of game 1 that, oh man, this isn't just our night. But I think that's going to take like 3-0 lead for that to happen. I guess the thing is, if the Oilers score first, it'll at least give some life to the building. Oh, we actually have an advantage. It'll actually put a little pressure on the Kings to get the next goal, right? If the Kings score first, quite frankly, Jay, it's going to feel like 2-0, not 1-0.
Okay, we talked about this in the hangout earlier, Reid. what are your thoughts on the ability for the fans that are at the arena, at the game, and how important it is for the Oilers in that respect to score first, maybe even score second, as opposed to going down by 1 goal or 2 goals and that place becoming silent?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I know it's exciting and fans cheer. I do think that has value, but the players on the ice still have to go out there and do it, right? And I would always push back when the Oilers were bad, when people would say, well, the crowd needs to get into it. It's like, no, the Oilers need to have a better team, But I'm more worried about the negative effect of the crowd being silenced and how that feels. Like, I remember when Marchessault got that hat trick in Game 6 of the second round 2 years ago when he eliminated the Oilers, and you could just feel it in the stands. Like the muttering, oh no, that's probably it, or oh no, this is the last game of the season, right? Or turn into your buddy, you're like, oh, can you believe it? I don't know if we're going to do it. And that's more what worries me, is if the LA Kings, if they get a 1-0 lead, because I don't think there's, as much as people are trying to be optimistic and enthusiastic today, I think deep down there's not a lot of confidence in the Oilers right now, right?
Correct.
So there's going to be that
at the core,
crap,
yes.
At the core of everybody's being. I know people want to be optimistic and they want to believe, but I guess here's what I'm trying to say. I think an LA first goal is more detrimental to the Oilers than an Oilers first goal is positive for the Oilers.
I understand.
And to the crowd. Because LA is not going to be rattled, right?
Well, quite frankly, LA has zero pressure on them coming into this game.
True.
None.
Yeah.
They can pay, but that might actually help them more. The Oilers are going to be squeezing their sticks. They're going to be trying to, unless like we've said all day on Edmonton Sports Talk, unless they can settle down and just play their game and dictate the pace of play.
Right.
And hopefully negate that off the bat. But yeah, like LA's got nothing to lose. They're up 2-0. If they come out of this 2-game series in Edmonton with a split, they're laughing.
Then they go to their home rink where they rarely lose.
They're laughing. So yeah, huge game.
Yeah, look, these players are good at handling emotional swings and pressure and all that kind of stuff. But the Oilers need to make LA uncomfortable. And really, the only time the Kings have been uncomfortable was probably not until it got to 5-4 in Game 1. Right? Because it was 4-1, it was 4-2, okay, a little bit, and then the Oilers handed them a 5-on-3. LA makes it 5-2. Even 5-3, LA's probably like, come on, we're not blowing the lead. Then at the 5-4 goal for Hyman, and then McDavid scores 40 seconds later. That's the only time LA was uncomfortable, right?
And they got uncomfortable really fast.
Right. Giant Mike says, I think you're underestimating the crowd. I think the hush of the crowd is equal to the praise. I think that's what I'm saying, am I not?
Yeah, I'm reading that.
I think that's, unless I misunderstand you, Giant Mike, I think that's what I'm saying, that nervous feeling, that negative feeling in the crowd when the visiting team does something well can be really, really powerful. Like it's one thing to say the team deflates. Sometimes you can just feel the building deflate. That hope almost start to disappear. Like I said, when Marchessault got that hat trick. Like if it's, I know the crowd is great and they're going to try hard. But I mean, if it's 2-0 LA 15 minutes into the game, what's it going to be like in that building? Fans are start thinking, well, there's 5 periods left in this season.
Jared in the nasty chat, Reid is saying it's a can allow, not a must score.
Yes, I guess. I suppose that's what I'm saying, Jared. Thank you for
well done
for clarifying that.
Well, the Oilers, I mean, if you're looking at the odds for tonight, the Oilers are currently favored by quite a bit.
Because they're at home, right?
Sure, by quite a bit. Over under set at 6.
It's not a half?
No.
Why is it not a half?
Doesn't always have to be.
Yes, it should be.
On the over under, it's usually not.
But if it's exactly 6, who wins?
Or sorry, it's not usually not. It can be. Well, then it's a push.
Why would a sportsbook have a push? Don't they want to win money themselves? Make money themselves?
They do. But if it was 6.5, you might take the under. At 6, you might just now take the over. Right? 9 games.
Yeah. Riding the Pine says, I know it's your job, but playoff hockey anthem, you must smile a bit. No. Well, I think I was saying earlier today that I'm fired up for attending a home playoff game in my role. It's something I look forward to and I try to soak in. I know that was 3 hours ago, so I know not everybody listens all day. But yeah. Do I not smile a lot? Probably not.
That's a great question. You do. You're a very smiley guy. You giggle a lot. You have a great giggle. Is this game going to be more attended in your neck of the woods, up in the press box? Or does that not happen till second and third round?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, there wouldn't be very many national media there. LA maybe would travel a writer or two. Maybe they wouldn't usually travel. I'm trying to think.
Well, because
usually a lot of Edmonton media there.
There were some Edmonton writers that went down to LA.
There might be a few more people in the press box, but I'll tell everybody how it works. Basically, like for tonight, I'm using my same media pass that I've been using all year long. For the Stanley Cup final last year, you have to then get accredited by the league.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then the NHL takes over the Stanley Cup final. So I had to go on that NHL media website I've shown you and filled in all my stuff. And then you get a special pass for the Stanley Cup final, which I think I still have in the glove box of my car.
Really?
But as the rights holder, obviously I was going to get approved. I mean, now in this role, they could say, sorry, EST gets one chair. Pick who's going.
Right.
If the Oilers make the final again.
Ryan Campbell, they should definitely try something else on the PP. Current combo of players is too predictable.
I don't know. Well, they're not taking. Well, the first unit they're not taking off McDavid and Draisaitl.
Right.
But so I guess who would you substitute? I mean, you could put Perry for Hyman net front. I guess you could put Wallman for Bouchard power play, and then Nugent Hopkins. I don't know who you would. I know Nuge isn't playing great, but I don't know who in tonight's roster you would put in there necessarily. I mean, Nuge is still good at passing the puck and making little passes like that. I don't think they'll make a change on the power play, just based on what they've done this season and the faith they try to show in that unit. I don't think they would change the first unit.
Well, do you think this is something where the levee could break on the special teams?
Well, I mean, they still got talent, right? I mean, this could still be a power play that all of a sudden goes 3 for 4 after going 0 for 5. Sure.
That's what I mean. And then who's to say what then could happen going forward? I mean, this has been statistically an anomaly even for the Oilers. I mean, they're underachieving on their power play,
right,
and grossly underachieving on their penalty kill,
right.
So, I mean, if you're looking long term, usually those things sort themselves out, and the numbers usually balance out.
Right, but they might not have time to do it.
You may not have time,
and plus plus playing the same opponent every night who's playing really well. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Ryan says swap Nuge for Henrique. Yeah, I don't know if they would do that. I think Henrique did get a couple power play goals. Didn't he get a couple power play goals when everybody was hurt?
Yes.
Or when guys were hurt? I guess though the one thing with Nuge is he's quicker for puck retrievals, right? So I don't think that they would do that.
Guess we'll wait and see.
Pickard will be in goal. Kemper obviously going for the Los Angeles Kings, who will try to go up 3-0 in the series. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman going to be your top line. Montreal and Washington tied 1-1, 5 minutes into the second period. Montreal out shooting the Capitals 17-10. They got a big goal in the final minute of the first period. And here is a 3-on-1 for the Canadians. And it is a shot. Who shot? Oh, Suzuki. Suzuki got the shot. Who's one of the guys you would want taking the shot. This is, I mean, the Canadians have been, what's the word I use for them? Plucky. Like they don't go away. They play with a lot of energy. I guess they play with gumption.
They do. Yeah.
Is the way I would put it. Washington's obviously the more experienced and more star-laden team, I guess is how you can put it. But Montreal, it's been close, but a lot of it, winning close games is a talent, right? So Washington's been better than that. Toronto's been better than that against Ottawa.
Yeah, I just honestly, this is the big question, Reid. Is if should fans expect to see something different than they've been seeing thus far? And I honestly don't know. I don't know if they can overcome that, they being the Oilers. The constant pressure by the Kings, defensively and offensively. And as we had Hernan sitting here earlier, optimistic, I get it. I said, I'm a half glass full guy too. But the reality of the situation is that there's nothing different from this lineup as opposed to last game.
No. Well, I mean, you really have no defenseman you can bring in.
Well, I mean, Reid, we haven't talked about it that much because it is what it is at this point, but maybe now you look at this and you realize just how valuable a player like Matthias Ekholm is to this team.
Well, of course. But I've kind of... He's not here.
I know. Is it fair to say that? Probably not. And it's not fair to put that on the current players that are playing defense. I'm just saying, as an overarching theme, that's your number one defenseman.
Yeah, it's their best all-around defenseman.
And that's someone that has been penciled in as somebody that can possibly remedy some of the mistakes that his defensive partner in Evan Bouchard makes.
Yeah, well, Marty Braun brought that up yesterday.
Right.
And we all know that. But, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that because you can win with hurt players. And the Oilers have played teams with injuries in the past. But here's what we're seeing, right? I mean, last year the Oilers were really good. And I brought this up before. Like, Warren Foegele got scratched in Game 6 against Dallas. And then they brought him back in the Cup final. The Oilers don't have a player of that caliber that they can bring in right now. Even if you're saying Jeff Skinner should be playing, you could make an argument for that. He's not that style of player, I guess, coming in. I mean, Kapanen I wouldn't bring in. Jones I wouldn't bring in. Derek Ryan I wouldn't bring in at this point. I mean, to have a right-handed face-off guy? Well, you need to do other stuff along the way as well. So it's... And somebody asked, are they more injured than we know about? I mean, maybe, but still, I mean, I'm sure LA has... things that are bothering them as well and that they're playing through. They can play better, but you said it. Can they play well enough to counteract what the Kings are doing? I think the best way to do that, be responsible with the puck, defend, don't give up a ton of grade A chances. Hey, Gager, what's going on? Burning
burning the supper time oil, huh?
Right.
Hard working man, that Joaquin Gage.
He's amazing. Klingberg, now I will say this about Klingberg. He played way better than I thought he would play last game.
Probably one of the bright...
He was probably he was one of the Oilers' better players last game. So he's in today. I think the deep pairings are going to be all over the map as usual. I think they'll see who can click with Bouchard. It's been an interesting series for Wallman. I think he's been... I think Wallman's been a little Bouchard-esque himself. Maybe not with the turnovers, but just with some of the defensive coverage and just sort of being at the heart of the action, perhaps more than you would like for a defenseman. So we'll see how it goes for him tonight. I do think Nurse and Kulak have had pretty good series, despite Nurse being having a couple of the goals against picked apart. There were still other things on those plays that I think went wrong for the Oilers. And then, Emberson is who he is. It's not great at this point in his career. Hopefully he keeps improving, but that's how I look at that. 1-1 still Montreal and Washington, 12.5 left in the first period. Canadians are out shooting the Capitals 2010. They just had one that just squeaked wide off a shot from a bad angle. So Montreal's playing well. Like we say. Also underway, do we have a score yet? Hurricanes and Devils are 7.5, almost 7.5 minutes into the game. No score. Hurricanes up 2-0 in that best of 7 series. Who did you? Oh, you had to take the Devils in that one, eh?
Yes.
Against your better judgment because you picked them to win.
Yes.
The Eastern Conference before the season. VR Montenegro calling himself visually ravishing Montenegro, emailing in a limerick to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Losses in LA. The Oilers are chagrin. Tonight to the Ice House to witness a win. Stu, you sit, won't be ya. Pickard, panacea. Right meow is the time, lads. Let's dig the F in. Wow, that was a challenging one to read.
Wow.
But very creative. People have really embraced those. I'm happy to see those. Very happy to see those.
Did you read Bronco Knicks?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think his was the first one I read. I don't think, because I honestly delete them as I get them, guys, so I can keep track of what I've read and haven't read a little bit later. All right, let's get a final push with the thumbs up. We're a single digit away from 255, so let's get there before we hand it over to Tom Gazzola at 6:30. Tom, live from the Ice House in Ice District Plaza until 8 o'clock, 8:10 face-off tonight. He'll be on after the game as well with Hernan Salas, who's going to be doing all the hard work here from ESD. Is it Cass tonight too, Hernan? And Cass tonight too? And Matt Cassian, our analyst. So a great show. I'll hop on with him after the game as well. On behalf of Zachary Kubusch and the glue guy, Jason Milne, thanks for sticking with us through an extended edition of the show. Oilers Kings at 8. Tom and Hernan coming up. Have a great weekend.